You go and see nails on the floor and things. Our football is going bad. Then you get up and say, what are you talking about? We can't even compete in football. There's no grassroots, AstroTurfs everywhere. We've lost it. There's no commitment to excellence anywhere. People don't even read any properly. Stories are poorly written everywhere. We are just living, shouting every day, convincing ourselves that we have the first sub-Saharan African country for successful elections. You see there, look at Senegal. Don't rest on your own. Let's get serious. Let's go back to truth. Speak the truth. Why are we failing? That's the thing. Let's go. Let's ascertain the truth. If you don't value truth, you can't advance. Societies that value truth, they will do well for their citizens. We are living a lie. If you live a lie, nature will resist you. Because the lie, you see, truth is reality. So the more you search for truth, the closer you get to reality. That's why some people have put research into things to solve their problems. We don't want to do that. We've thrown all our scientists to the background, all our professors, they are book long too much. We go on air. How can you advance? How can you advance? You are doing the discussion on the policy. When you are in power, it means everything you want to say is true. People have done research and they have told you the thing is wrong. You don't care because you have power. And you appoint some of your upstarts on social media to attack people who speak. Follow them with robots, bots and things. You get some money and you think you are doing something to yourself. When your child falls sick and you don't have ambulance, that's when you know that you lived a lie. That's what. So let's go for truth. That's the issue. If you don't have truth, you cannot succeed. And the truth starts with us being honest to the facts. The facts show that the economy is not doing well and the government has mismanaged it. Let's accept it. Let's accept it and stop all these big English.
Unleashing the power of relevant.
When we say we want to do something, they always say it is not possible. They always say it is not possible, but it is possible. When I said a few days ago that Ghanaians suffer a lot because everything we want to buy, we have to use cash to buy everything. In the developed countries like the UK, Germany, Japan, the United States, workers buy most things on credit. You buy a fridge, you buy a television, you buy a car, you buy a mobile phone, you pay small, small, small. But in Ghana, you have to pay it all. And so I said Ghana has reached a stage where we are going to introduce a credit scoring system that allows our workers to also pay small, small, small until they get it. When I said it, they couldn't understand. They don't understand some of these things. So we are going to do it. And you can buy your mobile phone and pay small, small, small until you finish paying. And we will be introducing the credit scoring system. But what I can assure you is that very soon, when the system starts working, you can be sure that the NDC will start to claim that it is they who introduced the system. They will claim that it is they who introduced the system. Just like they are claiming it is they who introduced free senior high school education. They will claim it is they who introduced the credit scoring system. But we are bringing this credit scoring system so that our people can get credit for goods and pay small, small, small. Our tailors can get machines and pay small, small, small until everybody is satisfied. This is the new Ghana we are going to. We are building a credit system in Ghana. And everybody is going to enjoy this new credit system by the grace of God. Don't listen to the people who say it is not possible. It is possible. It is possible.
Many years down the line.
And already Raymond has started the conversation. Why you can't look to Ukraine as an excuse. You can't look to Ukraine as an excuse. for why the city is in a free fall again. In fact, free fall is being charitable. We want to borrow from Baumia's own words. In 2017, he told all of us that they had arrested the city and given the key to the IGP. Well, then of course he was a vice president. He's still the vice president, but something has changed about his status now. He is the candidate, the presidential candidate of the new patriotic party at the time when the city has broken jail again. I mean, in the last 7 years, the city has broken jail many times. We've had this conversation on State of Play before, right? The difference is we are 8 months
to an election.
Yeah. So it changes a lot. In fact, it changes everything. And as you know, once the city depreciates, everything follows. Yeah. So I was looking at where we were with the city in 2001, 2021. It was 6 cedis to the dollar. If you look at the fact that the Energy Commission predicts that we will need $1.2 billion to buy fuel for the thermal plants this year. If it was 2021, we would need $6 billion. In same amount, we're keeping that amount of $1.2 billion constant. If it was 2021, we need $6 billion. So we need 6 billion cedis, right? Just about that. In 2024, you have to multiply that by 14. They're talking about some 15 billion cedis. Same amount of dollars to buy fuel, but completely different amount when they come to the CD equivalent. And that fundamentally is why doomsday is going to continue. Because obviously, we are producing the power in dollars and we are selling it in CDs. Yeah. So the depreciation of the CD is going to affect your ability
to make up for the...
Exactly.
In fact, and if you were to be an ordinary business, you price more than you pass on to the ordinary people of this country.
So it's crazy. I mean, the conversation we're having, it affects every little thing. In fact, inflation.
Yes.
Down.
It's established relationship between exchange rate and inflation.
Down to it.
Yes.
The doomsday primarily down to it. The fuel you buy at the pumps down to it. We need $400 million a month. To get the fuel we need to power our cars, etc. I mean, the BDCs need that to bring in refined product. And then I heard over the last 2 days that Sintu, the refinery, had added a whole different dynamic to the dollar problem because they're importing crude to refine. Right? Before now, you didn't have Sintu in the mix, so you're just dealing with your 400 million from BDCs, right? Now you have Sintu, they need crude. So you're buying crude. In fact, they bought crude that they need money, they're looking for dollar to go and do. So the government then went to a cabinet meeting and then decides that let's bring Sintu under the gold for oil arrangement. So now they are calling it gold for crude.
Sorry, gold for oil?
Yeah.
Contrary to the IMF
directive.
Oh no, it's doing it. In fact,
directive may be a better one, but I was saying urgent.
They have actually upgraded the gold for oil. They have a component called gold for crude. Gold for crude. So government is now sourcing the crude and paying the crude with gold for Sintu. And then Sintu will obviously sell in CDs and then pay back government. So the instruction is that the Sintu refined oil, crude, right, cannot be sold to BDCs. It's being given directly to boss, and then boss, because that's the arrangement, and the goal for whatever, and then the BDCs are complaining. But it's all because of the CD depreciation. So, Baumia, the question you're asking is, can he put the CD back in handcuffs?
I have asked this question before, that maybe he's busy. You know, more recently, when, the vice president does not take care of people's allowances, teacher trainees allowances. So it makes sense that you would have a vice president that's busy. But when he ordered that they should be paid, today as we speak, we understand that the money is being transferred. If it has not been transferred, into the account of the health ministry. So it appears that the vice president, when he's ordering things to happen, he can make it work. Like the way he was able to order 175 million. This one, we need him. Let's not get it wrong. The introduction of Mahmoud Bawumia is the economic messiah who will fix the economy of this republic. Now, Winston has the entire 50-page restoring the value of the CD lecture from 2014.
Yes, I have.
Winston has the entire 50 pages.
Why are you going to dig that thing up?
I'm going through.
But permit
me to only quote the conclusion. Okay. He says, Mr. Chairman, in conclusion, I would like to repeat without exaggeration that the Ghanaian economy is in crisis. It is time for serious action. If government does not take the right decision, and soon the Ghana will likely to approach the IMF for a bailout before the end of the year. At the end of the day, the obvious lesson is that we cannot run away from fiscal and monetary discipline, no matter how hard we try. I thank you for your attention. God bless you all, and God bless our nation. Mr. Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, flag bearer, substantive, please. The economy is in crisis today. After the IMF, they're already with them. So after that part, there is no conversation. We had a conversation 2 years ago, but we're already with the IMF. What is required is that, and that history people cannot miss. This entire economy is under Mahmoud Bawumia, whether we like it or not. That conversation we have about Mahmoud Bawumia, when he was always being introduced by the president of this republic, was that this is the guy. I picked him because he helped Kufuor fix the city, do other things with the economy, and he will do same with us. We all remember that, right? That one is a prima facie. We all remember that.
Not in doubt.
Yes. This is the time we need the most, not in distributing laptops or iPad, tablets, not in talking about technology, not in talking about digitalization. This is the time we need a savior, the be it all in the economy to fix the economy.
You see,
no, it is most important. Primary role of every economy. And I'm coming to this right
before you come to that. I just want to say, you know, Dr. Bawumia has this: if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you.
Yeah.
If you play propaganda with the economy, the reality will expose you. This is page 44 of restoring the value of the city. So what should government do to restore some value to the city? You know, the good thing about literature is that it provides a basis for analysis all the time. And we can always go back to it and say, I mean, these are things that we know we should do. It says, Mr. Chairman, the following measures may be considered. The government has to admit that the economy is in crisis so that it can carry along the country and get public support for tough remedial measures it may have to take. 2, I mean, I'll just read the points. 2, government should restore fiscal discipline by ensuring that we cut our coats according to our size. Ghana, 177 million to pay nursing training
and was ordered within hours. It is supposed to be delivered today.
You think that's the most important thing we have to do under the circumstances?
They have to win an election.
I don't want to even say that we promise kidney people 1 whole year. We are still doubling how we are going to effectively deploy that.
Listen to this carefully. Listen to it. So, revenue enhancing and expenditure reducing measures, such as, thank you, Raymond, for the continuation.
Yes.
Ensuring value for money in the award of government contracts through a transparent and competitive procurement process that minimizes sole sourcing. 2, reducing revenue leakages with respect to tax exemptions. You tell me what the reality is today. I mean, people are listening to us.
I see John Mahama saying this.
No. This is 2014.
Expansion.
Because it sounds like something that the opposition leader will say now. So you are saying that. So that's surprising. If somebody just joined us, if somebody just joined us, you think you are reading. It doesn't sound like you're saying that about me.
That's 2014. Then he was in opposition. Yes. So he said it.
In 2014.
I'll just end at point 2 because all the meat is here. C, expansion of the tax net through the formalization of the economy.
Oh, so you mean that at that time, Bawumia was telling John Mahama
to formalize the economy.
Okay. So now he has to tell himself.
The issue of biometric national ID cards and the implementation of a working street address system are critical to the formalization. That has been done, to be fair. But it doesn't end like that. We still do not have the informal sector.
If I said it could be completed in a year.
In a year. We didn't do that in a year, but let's move on. Dealing effectively with corruption in the management of public finances, the verdict is out there. Government should immediately undertake a biometric-based payroll audit to eliminate ghost workers. That's something we do back and forth. This is the reality. Look, solving the problem. We once started something. The times where we could borrow 3 billion at the beginning of every year and say, and pride ourselves that we're doing something when we're artificially managing the Ghana city. Those days are over. Now we can't go back. In fact, we're struggling struggling, waiting patiently for 360 million. I listened to you yesterday with Lord Mensah. And I mean, look, the simple thing is that where we find ourselves today,
there's nothing we can do.
You cannot change it overnight.
It's not possible.
This is something that we should have done 7 years ago. Look, it saddens my heart when the distinguished government statistician, an appointee of this government, actually shows government that, look, these are the problems we're going through. He does the trade vulnerability report and says, these are the things we import. Oil. We import more oil than we export oil. That's not in doubt.
Toothpick, yemwadie.
You know. You see? So when you know these things, what the distinguished government statistician is telling
we
you
are
is that,
sending dollars to buy yemwadie.
That's
Massa, what the government is telling you is that just look at where, and it actually shows you that your neighboring countries, what they import, and where you may have competitive advantage or comparative advantage. We are here waiting for IMF money. So as for us, in other jurisdictions, look, when the US government decided that they had to go electric, the government that was taking a decision was taking a decision because it was going to be implemented in its time.
That's true.
They're looking into the future.
Mr. Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, flag bearer, substantive. Please, the economy is in crisis today. After the IMF, they're already with them. So after that part, there is no conversation. We had a conversation 2 years ago, but we are already with the IMF. What is required is that, and that history people cannot miss. This entire economy is under Mahmoud Bawumia, whether we like it or not. That conversation we have about Mahmoud Bawumia, when he was always being introduced by the president of this republic, was that this is the guy. I picked him because he helped Kufuor fix the city, do other things with the economy, and he will do same with us. We all remember that, right? That was just a prima facie. We all remember.
In Kufuor's time, one of the people who advised and helped him develop a strong CD was my running mate, Muhammadu Bawumia. Then he was deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. It's one of the reasons I brought him to come and join me. I will work on the CD and create again a strong CD that will be able to allow us to develop our economy and allow our traders and our to be able to develop. I think that the most effective way that we can have a debt portfolio for our country that is sustainable is to make sure that the NDC loses this election in December. Kicking out the NDC will be the surest way we can to protect the debt structure of our country. Why do I say that? In the 4 years in which they have been in power, they have more than tripled our national debt from 9 billion CDs, which was at the end of Kufuor's period, to 28 billion CDs today. In the 4 years of the NDC administration, they have contracted more debt than all the governments of our country, from Kwame Nkrumah right down to John Agyekum Kufuor. That is the nature of the situation confronting our country. And I dare say the president would agree with me that without the rebasing of the economy, the debt profile of our country today will be getting towards epic proportions. So we need, when we're talking about the debt profile of our country, to bear in mind two things. One, the areas into which the debt goes. And I agree with some of my previous speakers that the productive investment and the rate of return on them is a critical one. Equally critical is the value for money of the transactions that the debt brings about. We need to look at that. I've given some examples of public procurements that are taking place in our country on an extremely inflated rate. Once again, we need to look at this. You're talking about loans that are given, and inside the loans, the arrangements for determining value for money remain very opaque and unclear. How can you persuade the Ghanaian people that debts are being contracted in these circumstances that are there to push forward their future? We intend to be extremely disciplined about the contraction of debt. We're first of all going to respect the teachings of the national budget and treat it as precious. We will not be stepping outside the constraints of the budget. We are going to make sure that we reduce considerably areas of corruption in the construction and execution of some of these projects. These are the critical matters that our people are looking for leadership on. That we are not going to get ourselves in airline and other aircraft and other transactions that leave so many questions to be answered. The 28 billion is even without the latest Chinese thing.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our job, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. Inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Thursday, the 25th day of July 2024. By His grace, we're live and we're here. We're at another edition of the show. Our gratitude will go to the Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making the rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly. But let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. Unnatural canal knowledge unlawful. Anal sex, use of vibrators, others still offenses. Supreme Court. 3-day insurance fair opens in Accra. Graphic Business Insurance Association collaborate. Non-professional teachers must upgrade by December. The Ghanaian Times. Appointment of justices to Court of Appeal. We need more judges nationwide. President to critics as he justifies swearing in 16 new judges. Atta Mills Memorial Heritage commemorates 12th anniversary of former President Mills's passing. Yendi Municipal Assembly members brawl over presiding member election. Daily Guide. Atta Mills's 12th memorial service. NDC family Fight Tanyedo. Nana justifies appointing more judges. Government delivers 1,000 homes to security agencies. Bawumia can't debate Mahama. Minority. Supreme Court upholds law against unnatural canal knowledge. The new crusading guide. Akufo-Addo fulfills $60 million promised to UHAS. Stop military and police from land guard duties. Nungwastu cautions. Ex-workers fight GPH over severance benefits. Adjuring and residents warn Dawson over illegal demolition of a Kwapin Mare in his property. NPA sensitizes communities on CRM and safe use of LPG. Krowa NPP chairman rallies support for Bawumia. The insight. Ghana's public debt hits $50.9 billion. Finance minister reveals amid economic pressures. GPHA must respect authority of President Akufo-Addo, ex-workers. Government goofed in locking up global fund supplies, NPP MP. ICJ says Israeli occupation of Palestinian territory illegal. Ni Aite Taki warns Omanjo residents against purchase of lands from fraudsters and imposter chiefs. The Daily Statesman, $60 million US expansion work completed. NAPO engages more chiefs in Greater Accra. Nearly 900,000 pupils participate in 2024 National Standardized Test. Second cohort of Kaya to graduate from NEIP training program today. Government provides 1,000 homes for security agencies since 2017. The New Finder. Tourism rakes in $1.8 billion between January and June 2024. Dr. Amwa calls for patience amid economic improvements. The Balancing Act. Intelligence agencies in modern economies. Reforming SNIT. A call for transformation in pension management. This is a very, very interesting article by Michael Harry Yamson. You should take a read of that. 150,000 cedis to 50 million cedis available to SMEs under new fund. Daily Post. President Mills prioritized the needs of the nation over personal and political gain. Mahama. Minority invites Bawumia to debate media budget in Parliament. NPP in its present state not attractive to me. Professor Frimpong Boating. And that's about it for the front pages. We'll be back shortly.
She's coming. She's coming.
Oh, it's in.
Red Hour receive now.
Boss, let's go back.
Here, take this.
She's coming.
I know. Go to the pharmacy now.
She's coming. Oh. She's here.
Pay faster, pay safer, and pay easy with Momo app. Download now and pay with the QR code, merchant ID, and so much more.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
We are back, bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two, with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bets. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
This
adverts have been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fair missy way.
The Pacho Bantama.
Machasi.
Her smile,
the fresh breath.
Me, Gidi said we used to Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind. Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector. Onim Jom Kasa.
Cal 360 did the work. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see so feeling Cal 360 toothpaste. Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Ama, nansi mi jeno wo bin enkoye kwao. Ama ma ye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se me nyo basi makura. Ama me kunu me into kwankwa. Oh you right. Enye mo ko. Give us GC mixture and any capsules. Aye num boom. En wasam na mo kana. E bua emma ene meme nyina. Ne ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye bemasima. Ya, we be bua wuku. Ama ne giant sa wo de hye ni botum. Na wanyi nya na nim tisese ni oyi chokwa.
Give us GC mixture and a capsule. Achisa.
A pin for a batter, one more menu for one and Quada when if you do me.
Are you looking to own a prime piece of litigation-free land where you can put up your dream family home or your ideal getaway retreat within a luxurious estate? Then look no further. Welcome to Rehoboth Hills, where your dream of hassle-free land ownership comes to life. Acquire land devoid of multiple purchases, litigation, and land guard issues in a safe and secure gated community while enjoying the fabulous night view of Accra from the serene Ebri Mountains. Rehoboth Hills offers spacious plots that provide you with the ideal setting for your dream home and a valuable, safe investment for your future. The lands are located in the prime area of Ayarifa within our residential development Rehoboth Hills, overlooking the city of Accra and the Ebri Mountains. Our prices are very affordable and designed to fit your budget. We offer flexible payment terms, ensuring that you can invest in a valuable asset for the future. Contact us on 0244 764 499 or 0204-950-810 or visit our website at www.rehobothpropertiesgh.com. Rehoboth Properties, quality housing for all.
Yeah, and now you were back in Greece. To say why you fit up the millionaire. Yes, the luckiest at Aroma. To say about from Massa Echeman. Yeah. Now check with this. Sister Abna, aka Kogi Hima. The luckiest at Aroma. Queen B.
Yeah.
Boss lady back up there. Hold on to your seats, folks. Such anyway, it'll be you smooth. Way and your friend will upgrade. Luckiest and Aroma. And the best part that with the luckiest will be our shot to a good life. And I'm talking to you, me, your girlfriend, your ex, your neighbors, your landlords, and even Goro boys. And no one is over dialing with lucky number. *712#. No. Go swallow ticket. to win in the community draw or the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. T&Cs apply.
Lima. Kaya azan chanla.
Inchala will nam ben shakam level voters register map.
You didn't register.
Electoral Commission nan yim nati to sol. Neso kamle o will no ben shakam voting register map puni. Bendeng ba silmingwali August ya pishidale. Halli silmingwali August ya pishina point 2024 when. Saring ba ga point asbasi. Halli ga yobo zawun jaka.
Na do tunen chale lehenden zo kumfongo. Oh lehema.
The two nali amam ben shakam voting register map puni. Di malmaln ka chika ba mallan. The latunami a polling station. Anyangum betu no voti. Anto cheka ba ye oyule voting register map puni. Adamunda kan yum to no yuli voting register mani.
Don't na rotunin chancellor user pumpum.
Lema. The tunami dapsilma min sahama. The Yanzwan Zanka 2024 people mapolo. Electoral Commission nim yala ban Yanzang people bukuma wo solo kaso kamnya. Sahamo ye pai. Yinkang ma manka chante lele amam. Zangba silmin gwali August biapishi. Hal ne biapishi ayo point. The asba kurga ayo point. Hal ne rezawuni kurga yobu. La dam samabu. Den lampai. Ban sabnibu voti ne tuome star 711 star 51 hash. Number no che tangal mizo. Nyanya ben shakam nang dedi. Nipo shaban la ben bon kon ba vote ban ben to chang wiya sabba shaba fonden. Ba mitin le ben shakam zo. Electoral Commission tun de ben to swanka le aben shakam zo. Hal aika a vote bambla asa. Muntu vote bi nya usually kala nirma ba payum pishi ayika. Be o patang pia. Be o kala o hankal. Be so vote bambla ko zang sabi. Be ka fongman nirin yo. One to yeli ka be yela yule. Prima a pibu nyaso habia.
In Kufuor's time, one of the people who advised and helped him develop a strong CD was my running mate, Muhammadu Bawumia. Then he was deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. It's one of the reasons I brought him to come and join me, that we will work on the CD and create again a strong CD that will be able to allow us to develop our economy and allow our traders and our to be able to develop.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana Live on Metro TV. Well. By His grace, we're live and we're here. We're at another edition of the show. Tomorrow, Friday the 26th of July, okay, by the grace of God, we'll be alive and we'll be here again. And we'll have the ambulance edition of Good Morning Ghana. That's going to happen tomorrow, okay. Anyway, MTN says I should tell you that this month, July, is actually SME month, and it started from the 4th of this month, and it's going to run till the 30th of this month. So, sorry, if you own a small or medium-sized business, get ready for an exciting month ahead as MTN Ghana brings you a host of exciting events carefully planned for SMEs across the regions. Businesses will be given the opportunity to set up at the MTN head office at the SME pop-up event, which started on the 4th of July and will end on the 30th of July. There will be quizzes on MTN's social media pages with exciting prizes to be won. MTN will also have developmental and capacity training for SMEs across the regions. There will be promotions and major discounts on MTN's products to boost your pocket and your business. The month's activities will be capped by SME fairs, and the one in Accra has already happened. That started on the 18th of July and ended on the 20th of July and was at the Tetekwashin Triangle. But from tomorrow, the 26th, to the 28th, Sunday the 28th, it will move to the KJTR market. So the MTN SME fair for the KJTR market will be from tomorrow to Sunday. Don't miss out on an open invitation to gain access to top-notch solutions, exposure to partners, and an opportunity to put your business on the map. Be a part of MTN SME Month 2024. Contact MTN today or through a call or WhatsApp on 0244-308-111 to know more. And KL 360 toothpaste is the recommended family toothpaste that also saves you money and is approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. KL 360 toothpaste provides you and your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. KL 360 toothpaste is good for kids, children, and adults. Let your family be a proud family when they step out by constantly using KL 360 toothpaste. KL 360 toothpaste brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with its cool mint, gives you fresh breath throughout the day and protects the gum from decaying. For consistency and quality, use KL 360 toothpaste. KL 360 toothpaste is another product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasu. It's available in all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. Call Samara Company on 0246-864-798. KL 360 toothpaste. Happy smile. And enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. However, the pains of climbing the stairs, especially when you are not exercising, could be challenging irrespective of your age. But worry no more. Lift and elevators have got you covered. With the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple self-supported elevator for both homes and offices, and guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in, and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lift and Elevators at Sakuman or just call them on 0200535515 or send the mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movements. With me on the show this morning, I have the Honorable Member of Parliament for the Anyansu Tum constituency, Dr. Dixon Adumaku-Kisi. Doc, good morning.
Morning, Doc.
Okay. Also with me on the show this morning is the legal practitioner, also the National Communications Officer of the NDC, Sami Jemfi. Sami, good morning.
Good morning.
Doc, you made the headlines.
Yes.
Inside the newspaper.
Yes. You just drew my attention to that. I think they chose a favorable picture. I thank them for that. Yeah. But I think, fortunately, Okoboy has resolved the issue.
Okay.
Or let me say government has. This was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, in relation to nets, mosquito nets, and also some drugs for tuberculosis and I believe retroviral infection. But let me say it's been resolved, and it shouldn't happen again. That's what we're hoping. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now, Sami,
look,
we're told that you're going to Tamale this weekend. What's happening?
All roads lead to Tamale this Saturday, the 27th of July, 2024, because something big is coming to Tamale. Something big is happening in Tamale, and it is the national campaign launch of the NDC's 2024 presidential and parliamentary campaign. For some time now, the party is parliamentary candidates, presidential candidates, running mates have been touring the nation, engaging stakeholders, opinion leaders, seeking their inputs into our manifesto and our vision, and assessing the grounds to see what the needs of the people are and what we ought to do to address that when we are giving the nod. But we've gone through all those processes. We're through with all our internal elections. We have a running mate now. And therefore, we just have to hit the ground running. Our leader, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has therefore announced that this Saturday, we will all congregate in the capital of the Northern Region, Tamale, specifically at the Police Park. That was the former name. Today it is called Jubilee Park, where various leaders of the party will be addressing not only the crowd who will be gathered there, but the entire nation. It is going to be a national program. Even though it is happening in Tamale, it's going to be a national program. You're going to hear Eve, you're going to hear Ga, you're going to hear Hausa, you're going to hear Mampuli, you're going to hear Gonja, you're going to hear Dagbani. I mean, all, you know, you're going to hear P, you're going to see representation of all the various sects of the party. And
you speak Bono?
I speak Chi, you know, because I never stayed in the Bono. Okay. Even though my mother is Bono, I never stayed in the Bono part of the Bono Half region. I stayed in Sunyani.
Sunyani is all Chi.
And I also lived a greater part of my life in Kumasi.
Bakasa.
Yeah. So Bajeno Mosquito will be there, maybe. We'll see. He can speak Bono.
Yes.
Oh, yes. He can speak Bono, he can speak Sekwa. So it's going to be a program that is going to kickstart our campaign. We will also be sharing some of the key policies. The flag bearer especially and the running mate will be touching on some of the key policies. The reason why we are calling on Ghanaians to vote for change, the reason why we are saying Ghana needs a reset, that is the day that we'll be putting out. We'll be canvassing that argument very strongly. It's going to be issue-based, and I want to encourage everybody who can make it to Tamale. Yes, the flights may be booked, fully booked, but if you can get a bus or get your vehicle and come, I will encourage you to come, and you are not going to regret it, because this is going to be historic, it's going to be mammoth, it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be memorable, and it will be great if you are there physically and you take part in this making of history. But for those who cannot come, the program will be live on all the major networks. And thanks to you and the management of this station, I can announce to viewers that the program will be live on Metro TV. So if you can't watch it anywhere else, at least on Metro TV, you can watch the program. Facebook. The time, streaming, social media streaming will be done. You can watch it on several platforms. For other stations who want to pick it live, there will be a live satellite feed that you can pick the live feed from. So you can watch it on social media, on your phone, in your palms, or on television. You can watch it on all the major networks. So make sure you are a part of this program. I know you'll be listening.
Well, I think as democracy demands, I'm sure some MPP people will be there to, grace the occasion.
You're warmly
you come for hours, so I wouldn't be surprised that the maybe regional chairman or somebody of that stature.
Yeah, they are warmly welcome. They're warmly welcome. So, Doc, that is it. The date is Saturday, the 27th of July. The time is 12 p.m. prompt, and we are having it at the Jubilee Park, formerly Police Park. And the special guest of honor is none other than our father, the former president, and by the grace of God, the incoming president, flag bearer, the nation builder, John Dramani Mahama. That is what is happening.
All right, okay.
But before you go, let me commend him on this report I just saw on the front page. I think that...
I'm not done with you.
You're not done with me, okay.
Yes. Okay. I've also seen on the newsreel that you will launch your manifesto in August.
Yes.
According to the chairman of the party.
Yes. Yes. I don't see that going beyond mid-August. So we're doing the campaign launch on the 27th. Immediately after we'll be done by 5 p.m. Latest by 5 p.m. We may even close before that. Once we are done, the campaign starts. So everybody goes to their constituencies. and they kickstart the campaign. And this time I came, and at this time around, the campaign is not just going to take the form of rallies, no. Like the flag bearer indicated at the just ended walk in Accra, it's going to be house to house, door to door. We're moving from markets to markets, churches, mosque, on the streets, so everybody can get involved and join this struggle, this process of ensuring that we rescue our country. The campaign, the manifesto launch will happen in August, and tentatively I can say on or before the mid of August. He asked, why do you launch a campaign without a manifesto? Because already all the major policies that form or constitute the pivots of that manifesto have already been announced by the flag bearer. So the Mahama 24-hour economy, which organized labor say is a game changer and which you have even applauded on this platform, is something that is already out there. The National Women's Development Bank, which is going to empower 1 million women with startup capital and training to be able to create wealth, and to bring the entrepreneurial energies in them, is another thing that has already been announced. And our mother, the running mate, Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman, is very passionate about that Women's Development Bank. A bank run by women for women. That is what it is. It means that from the cashier to the teller to the bank manager to the board member to the security personnel to the staff, all of them will be women. And this bank is going to have branches in all parts of the country, and their customers will be only women. No men will be entertained there. That is what it's meant for. And the target is to empower 1 million women. So you have 24-hour economy, you have Women's Bank, you have the big push, $10 billion investment in infrastructure, with $3 billion of that going into ICT, with the aim of creating 300,000 jobs in that digital space. The 1 million coders program, which will train 1 million young people in coding and either IT models, is also already out there. So unlike you, who don't really have any policy, all you're talking about is Mufesti and Emame, when you don't have a license. We have all our major policies out there already. And so we can start the campaign even before the main manifesto is launched. Of course, the manifesto will have more, but I'm saying that we have enough to start the campaign.
Okay. Since he brought me in, but anyways, we'll go into it. One key thing though, for instance, you know, this women initiative I see as an expanded Maslow program, renamed, but that is fine.
No, it's not true.
I mean, and then I think about 2 weeks ago, I was at an ICT program for girls. And what you're talking about is really like also an expanded program for, you know, young women or adult women going into, you know, programming and IT related things. So, I mean, an expanded version of what we have is not a bad thing. It's like recycling an existing program. But be it as it may, I mean, for whatever democracy is worth, we are waiting to hear what you have and show you what is already in existence that you are touting as something new, or to also bring to bear what we have in terms of our vision for beyond December 2024. So kudos to the NDC. I would have really hoped that the manifesto would come with the campaign launch, but that is not my decision to make. That is a party's decision. But based on, at least from a corporate standpoint, it would have made more sense that you equip your young guns or your comrades with appropriate information so that when they go doing Jehovah's Witness work, or shall I say proselyting, or entering people's rooms, whether invasion of people's privacies or whatever it is, that they go with something. We wanted now. You've been sitting home in opposition for 7 years. I mean, not to highlight movement for change, but I think they have brought their manifesto. So I think that I was expecting Sanka by now, dear. You outdoor it on. That is what I was really waiting for.
Well, like I indicated, the manifesto is ready, but
it hasn't gone
we
to
have
print.
Decided that we will launch it in the middle of August.
Okay.
And that the campaign launch should take place before that, and that we have more than enough policies already announced by the nation builder for this campaign, even ahead of the manifesto launch. But let me also correct you that the National Women's Development Bank is first of its kind. It is nothing like Maslock. Maslock is about micro and small-scale businesses, advancing loans to micro and small-scale businesses.
Largely women.
Yes. But
so
whether largely women,
but there's nothing wrong with an enhanced version.
Hold on. It's not an enhanced version. Understand something. The National Women's Development Bank is going to be a bank. Maslock is not a bank. That's number one. It is going to
like
be
a microcredit.
No, it's not microcredit.
Well, I'm saying I'm saying Maslock is like microcredit.
Yes, and this is not microcredit.
So it's still in the finance.
This is not microcredit.
Okay.
You understand? We are advancing capital.
But I like your security
and
being
training.
I like that part.
No, because we recognize the contributions of women in nation building.
No, I mean
that is why we have been bold enough to give women their place by appointing for the second time a woman as our running mate. And by the grace of God, when Ghanaians give us the nod, she will become the first female vice president. Look, Ghanaian women are not lazy. They are very industrious. They are very entrepreneurial.
My mother is watching.
But the problem, yes, and you know what they did for us
we haven't
growing
said
up.
Women are lazy.
And I've not said you've said that. But when you want to belittle an important policy, first of its kind policy, and create an impression that it exists, then I have a problem with you because it doesn't exist. Never in the history of this country
version. There's nothing wrong with it.
Come up with a policy.
Was
targeted.
free SHS not there?
Hold on.
It was there.
Let me finish.
We've come and expanded and made it bigger.
Please.
If you say that, I'll not be faulted.
Please cut this thing for me.
Okay.
Dr. Dixon today has indicated on Good Morning Ghana that free SHS was there and that they came and made it bigger.
But that's the truth.
That's the truth. But that truth, you see, truth has fallen from his mouth. That is it. But that truth today has become a very scarce commodity among the MPP. So when you have some of them confessing,
it was limited
like
to
this,
it's
important to highlight it.
Yes, I mean, look at health insurance.
Yes.
And trace from when it started.
The way
from piloting
everything
to district
mutual,
mutual base to national. Expansion of medicine and ailment list and all that. So, I mean, sometimes
we don't have to argue.
We split hairs over. In fact,
so he should agree that the banking for women.
No, this is not.
Is also an enhancement.
You see, the only women's bank we have had in this country was an NGO, private owned.
Yeah.
By
Women's World Banking.
Women's World Banking.
So there's been something before.
But they had a savings and loans license.
So there's been something before.
Sadly.
So correct something for me. I think that will settle this.
Yeah.
Is the Women's Bank going to replace Maslock?
No.
Okay.
So there will still be Maslock.
Fine. Okay. So just go.
I think that settles the matter.
Yeah.
So there will still be Maslock. Men can access. Men can access credits and funding from there.
For Maslock. Then leave Maslock
but
for the
Women's Bank.
No. In fact, there's an M, so we can make it.
But Women's Bank is focused on
Men's
just women.
Yeah.
And this time around, it is not just women doing small-scale businesses, even those doing large-scale businesses will be supported.
Yeah.
And this time around, even the students who are creating businesses online, the young girls leaving school who are creating businesses online, those who want training, those who want equipment, all of them will be captured under the Women's Banking Initiative. So it is sad that you collapsed that private initiative and you have done nothing in the last 8 years to uplift Ghanaian women. And so if today we are giving women their place by not only making one of them the second most important person in our party and in the future NDC government, but we are going ahead to create a special policy targeted at financially empowering 1 million women with cheaper credits. Because the problem now is that, yes, in the normal traditional financial system, you can have access to credit, but at what cost? 35% interest rate, 40% interest rate, and above. See, they can't simply afford it. Our mothers, my mother sells egg, and it is egg she sold to take care of my education. She cannot afford that interest rate. You understand? And sometimes even the conditions, the collateral and all that. That is what excludes women, many women, from the financial system.
NBSSI and GA.
NBSSI has been collapsed. Today, you call it another name. You understand? And even that, you're giving it to your party people. The real women, those selling plantain chips,
that one is not true.
Those selling kokwaya toto, Kofi Brookman, those baking bread, the hairdressers and all that, they don't get access to those funds.
They do.
You give it to your party people. You understand? So this is it, and I think it is something that we need to applaud. And so don't worry about us. When we say we are launching our campaign, and that 2 weeks, 3 weeks after, we will launch our manifesto, don't worry about us. Everybody knows what Joe Mama stands for. Jobs, jobs, jobs. And that is why we are bringing the 24-hour economy. That is why we are bringing the Women's Development Bank initiative. That is why we are doing the 1 million coders program. That is why we are investing $3 billion in ICT to create 300,000 jobs.
I like the 1 million.
That is why we will be introducing the National Apprenticeship Program for those who are interested in skill development. People. That 1 million, the 1 million coders program is for 1 million young men. The Women's Bank is for 1 million women. The National Apprenticeship Program, there is no number on that. As for 24-hour economy, there is no limit.
When we did 1 million, they said it was a slogan.
Effect you're going to have. The positive effect
when
you're
we
going to
did
have
1 million,
they
said it was a slogan.
So that is it. And even in the area of agric, John Mahama has announced some of the most revolutionary policies. He's spoken about the fact that this time around, we are moving away from subsistence farming. We are the days of farming,
so you're going to industrialize farming,
and who will be long gone when John Mahama is sworn in. But we are going to create farm service centers in all the regions, and we've learned from the mistakes we made in the past, where we gave tractors to farmers, and because they were not well versed in the management and maintenance of those vehicles broke down in their farms, and the state lost money as a result of that. This time around, we are creating farm service centers. And in these centers, you are going to have all the modern equipment for farming. The harvesters, the ones for plowing, weeding, all those equipments will be there. Managed by professionals. People who are well versed in the technical management and maintenance of this. So all the fertilizers will be there as well. All the farmers in those enclaves will go to the farm service centers, register, the equipments are brought to their farm, works for them, and then when it's a time for harvesting, same is done. When after harvesting, we send them to the agro-processing zones, which will be established in every region. So agro-processing zones means simply that if you tell an investor...
So this is the revolutionary...
Hold on. Yes, if you tell an investor to go to Akumadan to establish a tomato processing factory, he's thinking about where am I going to get electricity. The land tenure system and the problems of litigation associated with it. Who am I going to buy the land from? Where am I going to get water? How am I going to get a good road to where my factory will be? So President Mahama says you don't have a problem. We are now going to, government is going to take a huge tract of land, set it up nicely, bring electricity there, bring water there, provide security there. All you need to do, you come, you take a space. So and then you set up your factory.
An so agro, that the farmers, agro hub.
Yes, we are calling it agro processing and industrial zones. We're going to have them in all the regions. We're going to add value to our cashew, which we produce in abundance in the Bono East, the Bono area. We're going to add value to our tomatoes. We are adding value to our maize and all the things we produce.
So you process cashew now in Ghana?
For import substitution and for exports. So all these revolutionary policies are out there. You just have to pay attention to John Dramani Mahama, you will know that we don't have a problem at all.
Let me come back
but
to you.
Still, let me commend him briefly
okay.
For this, because it is rare these days to find men of conscience who are able to rise above their partisan interest to call out, criticize their own government when they do the wrong things. And I think when people muster the courage to do that, they have to be commended. I am very happy reading that you actually condemned government for locking up those important medications we got for free. For free, they locked it up for free at the port for close to a year. Maybe we should even check whether some didn't expire whilst they were locked up there. We should check. But it was so sad that at the time, hospitals and health facilities needed these drugs. And some facilities even said that they were recording shortages of these malaria, tuberculosis, HIV drugs. Our government allowed these drugs that were given to us for free to be locked up at the port for almost 1 year. And yet they had $10 million, for spare parts for ambulances.
We'll get there. Now, Doc, yesterday, Tuesday.
The budget.
Yes, the media review. We've heard about $8 billion in terms of what we're getting from the debt restructuring. The fact that we have deferred payment for most of our dues. Yes, although there will be some to be paid this year, something small. Then 2025 will also be servicing some, but then 2026 is when the Hydra-headed issue of interest payments and others will confront us, plus what we keep accumulating. What else were in that statement that you think should excite Ghanaians or give us some comfort or hope or confidence? And the people, one of the things that came up was sections of the business community being disappointed that some tax handles or levies were not. One of them was the COVID-19 levy. But then the Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, Mrs. Abdul-Nasir, has been speaking to this, and government insists that the COVID-19 levy remains crucial for addressing the lingering financial impacts of the pandemic, despite the widespread calls from the business community for its repeal. And many businesses had argued that the tax, which was initially implemented to mitigate the financial impact of the pandemic, has outlived its usefulness and now poses a significant burden, making Ghana less attractive to investors. Now, Mrs. Abdul-Nasir, who appeared before the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament yesterday, I don't know if you were there, you remember?
I was there when she was talking.
Okay. According to her, although the immediate threat of COVID-19 has diminished, the financial impacts of the pandemic are still being felt. Quote, the threat of COVID-19 is no more, but the impact of COVID we still feel. There are so many things we did during the pandemic that we have had to take care of. The effect of COVID is still with us, and that money is being used to address part of the effect of COVID-19. COVID is gone, but the effect is still with us. We still have to pay for vaccines. Also, once Parliament passed the COVID-19 levy, approval of the revenues that should come in 2024, it is still one of the revenues that we are collecting as a government. So give us the good news.
So your preamble is fantastic. You've been very fair. And let me start off by saying that this Karaga budget, and I say Karaga because the finance minister made it clear that he came from humble beginnings, from Tamale. And in fact, you can feel it in the budget. Very modest, very agreeable by many people, to the extent that I think as we start discussing it today, the NDC will find very little room to, say some things that they wish they could have. But one key thing, let me start off by saying that this budget presents to Ghana a huge cost saving, and we cannot discount it. Any time you are in debt and part of your debt is forgiven, it's a huge thing. So I saw, I think, 2 point something billion and then 4 billion.
Forgiven?
Oh, the debt relief is very clear. I mean, everybody knows this, and this is, this is factual. I'm here to only present to Ghanaians facts.
Is it two parts?
Undisputed
debt
facts.
Forgiveness and debt deferment.
Yes. So the forgiveness, if you can go to the OCC, which is the creditor committee in the world, our indebtedness there was 5.1 billion. They have given us a relief of 2.8 billion. That is huge. Huge. And then we have another one where the Euro bond holders, it was 13.1 billion. They've forgiven us 4.7 billion. That is huge. And from a financial standpoint, when your indebtedness is reduced, this impacts your GDP in terms of debt to GDP ratio, which is a huge deal. And I think that everybody talks about that. So this is a positive impact on Ghana's stance at the moment. Now, beyond that, one of the key things that you
What about a domestic one?
Yes, one of the key things that you negotiate
that's the one that
the energy sector is a huge one.
You put your hands in our pockets and stole our money.
We'll come to that. So one of the most powerful thing in debt management is to have interest rate reduced. And with the interest rate too, we've been lucky. Let me put that word out there. And our interest rate for our loans that will be servicing has also been reduced remarkably. And then one huge thing that Ghanaians should be happy about, forgive me though, is the fact that our energy sector indebtedness has also had some new negotiations in the sense that we'll be saving almost $6 billion based on the negotiations we have there. And you can call it $6 billion US dollars over the lifetime of the negotiations. That's huge.
Not possible.
When they concluded this, the savings is stated here in the budget, page 4. Item or paragraph 3 is there. So I think that one, reduction in interest rate, huge deal. And then the extension of the period for payment to 2026, another huge deal. So all of these are going to help Ghana be more stable. Now, many arguments are there with regards to the tax handles. But let me say this. I think Honorable Abna Osei-Asare did a fantastic job to the extent that there's one key thing that I would say that she also forgot. Efficiency in generating revenue in government is very crucial. And the reason why I say that is that government may prefer some tax handles, but to even get it in an efficient manner. For instance, our residential taxes, it has not been efficient. If property rates were efficient, then Ghana's revenue will be much, much bigger. So you go to a compound house, if there are 6 families there and they are paying on time, that would be what we call efficient. Now, no government in the world will do away with an efficient tax or revenue generation instrument. No government, if you are thinking correct. And let me also add that during this period, based on our negotiation with the IMF, we need to show up government revenue, and we need to ensure that we stick with the program and not derail it. Because once we derail it, it's like a cascading effect. All the major things will go wrong, and we don't want that. And unlike a previous arrangement we had with the IMF, where we had a cap on employment and all of these things, fortunately for us, this time we don't have that. And Doc, let me say categorically that as the finance minister was talking, I was waiting to hear that in an election year, he was going to bring things that would derail us in an election year. And I must commend Cabinet. I mean, in as much as Sami agrees that I will critique my own party, I must commend Cabinet that in an election year, we are not raising expenditures, and we are sticking with the program as we prescribed in December 2023.
But that's what you said in 2020. You said that you were not going to spend outside the budget. You were not going to. I'm saying 2020.
Yes, but in the mid-year, this time there's no supplementary budget.
Yes.
In the mid-year of 2020, we did a supplementary.
Yes.
So this is a remarkable difference.
You did a supplementary on the basis. No, you did a supplementary on the basis that because COVID had happened and the lockdown and others, you had to revise. Revise
numbers, revenue. Yes, but we did. But this time we haven't.
But in terms of expenditure, all the promises that you made in 2020, by the time we saw the outturns of 2020, you had broken every single promise that you made.
Let me say commitment. Let me say commitment. But this time round, as you well can see, based on what was presented, and based on the facts, in front of us, the two of us, you are very factual in your assessment. I'm very happy.
Experience tells me.
Now.
Experience tells me that I shouldn't take the word of a politician in an election year. Yes.
Well.
See, no, I'm just saying.
You have
experience tells me that in an election year, when in June or July, a government or a finance minister is telling me that we'll spend within budget, we will not go beyond and all that. Experience tells me that I should treat that with a pinch of salt.
Well, my experience
and wait till January.
But I want to use my experience and appreciate the fact that Cabinet has made a deliberate attempt to, at least in writing, stick with the program. And that I think
the same important. Cabinet that told us all the things about levy.
So well, I mean, but back to my key point.
Right.
And then one very important thing, you talked about small businesses. Let me say that at least this finance minister made it very clear, Dr. Amin, about the fact that small business, by and large, are the backbone of any economy, and that he's going to infuse capital into small businesses, because he's of the opinion that when the businesses do well in terms of manufacturing or small enterprises, they tend to hire people, which then will reduce our job losses or improve on employment. So this is fantastic. What we need is to be very disciplined physically, so that if we follow this program, as Dr. Amin has, proffered, and let me say that proffering in and of itself is very important. And I'm happy to say on air, some of my people did not understand me when I said that La General Hospital was still dear to our president. And the fact that this finance minister has reiterated what we said in December, and has found more funds to support the, building of the La General Hospital, which a lot of people, had made noise about. So that for me is a positive. And then he goes on to list very key things that we've made commitment to, which will still continue. And Sami must admit, it is known on record that 10 billion Ghana cedis have been paid to road contractors this year. And you see, though delayed, I think that it puts some funds in people's pockets to bring some relief.
10 billion out of how much?
The total indebtedness of Ghana for roads, I don't have the figure.
Okay.
But in local parlance, in between January and last year, I think we were nowhere near even 5 billion for the same 2 quarters. So I think that is a plus. And then, one of the remarkable things is the fact that for NHIS, we hit 6 billion in terms of what we are dispersing to NHIS. And for
what you have disbursed, or what you
think
say you would disburse,
I think 6.5 billion, and that is unprecedented, which means that we've strengthened the NHIS. It's not broken, and that is crucial. LEAP, which I think all of us know, is largely for people who are struggling at certain ages or with certain disabilities in this country, and that has also been improved. For a long time, admittedly, they were not marking the inflation bit with the LEAP contributions, but that has been adjusted this time, and that improves how much per household that people get. And then we've assessed and realized that the school feeding program, from 1-point-something million, let me say, subscribers or users of the school feeding program, it's quadrupled. And to have all these challenges and quadruple your school feeding members or beneficiaries is also another positive. And in fact, let me say this, that as part of the IMF program, it was important that our social interventions were still strengthened and not disregarded. And I think that Finance Minister has done a remarkable job admitting to the fact that they've had to adjust based on inflation. Now, some of the key roads that I'm waiting for to see, and I think the NDC should be happy. I believe in governance being a continuum. The Tema road that is being worked on, not the highway, but the other side, which you know. And I must admit, work was started before we came, but it's being continued, and the funds have been made.
Which one is it?
I think it's Afinia, Tema to Afinia. Yes, it's being worked on. That is remarkable. And he
so
said,
that's what the Akosombo stretch.
Yes, the Akosombo stretch, and he added the Nsawam Road, which, as of today, I mean, people in Amasaman and all of us who travel the Eastern Road to Kumasi are on Finance Minister's neck, and he admits that that is still a major priority this year, and they are releasing some funds for that. And also the Accra-Takoradi Road, and in addition, many crucial roads. I can't list all of them. And I think that, for me, from a financial standpoint, one, a reduction in our debt to GDP ratio, and then one miraculous thing is that the IMF argued that Ghana cannot grow over 1.5%, and shockingly, we are 2.9%. And that one, whether it's the grace of Allah or the grace of God, I think that it is remarkable. So, though the IMF and the rest of the world pegged Ghana's economic growth to be around 1.5, the best, we managed to hit 2.9. And what it means is that if, in simple terms, I believed that Sami could sell 15 apples, what we gave Sami was able to sell 29 apples in very simple financial accounting sense. And that, for me, is a huge plus. And any financier will be happier that, based on the instrumentations or support services they've given you. So right now, in the world of worlds, Ghana's case, which was a test case, in terms of a country that was struggling economically post-COVID, I think that we will, by end of this year, rank the best in terms of recovery and in terms of managing the program as per the tenets of the IMF. And I believe that what this does for us as a country is that pretty soon, doors that were closed to us in terms of funding in this country will be opened. And the average cocoa producer, the average import for car parts, the average trader will be seeing relief. And as of today, those looking for dollars to do foreign trade, our reserves are also fantastic. So today, not to bore you with a lot of finance, and to end, the inflation, albeit though was high, we're looking at 22% now. And this ties in with our food pricing. Once inflation goes down and cost of living goes down, your food pricing will also show appreciable stabilization. And I think that I want to execute this in very simple terms for the ordinary man out there to appreciate it. So I think that this finance minister, a friend, a colleague, has done remarkable for Ghana, and I think he is very much in touch with the Ghanaians. And let me add that many of those who were with the defunct banks, I believe that are being also attended to. In 3 tranches, there will be some payments to bring relief to those who have not been paid by some of the defunct banks. And I think that that is also very crucial. And that will also bring money, though their own money, and delayed, back into their pockets. And I must say that for me, in line with domestic debt exchange and addressing the ordinary man whose money has been delayed in terms of remittance, I think that that is also commendable. So, in a nutshell, I think that Amin did a fantastic job with regards to delivering to Ghana. We're not bringing a supplementary. We're going to stay the course, and Cabinet's appetite for expenditure has been reduced, and there are many solutions already in action. Although some are, claiming to bring new solutions, I think that on a brighter side, this budget is in line with what many Ghanaians are hoping for. And like anything else, like Oliver Twist, the ordinary Ghanaian will and always demand more. Now, with regards to the COVID tax, which you made a key thing, one thing I think Abena forgot, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo made commitments to Ghanaians during the storm that we can't bring lives back, but the economy, we can do something. And out of excitement, let me say this, he promised 101 hospitals, which I have one in my constituency, and it's nearing completion. That commitment was made during COVID era, but government is still funding those projects. And for me, that is so clear that commitments that the presidency made during COVID are not exhausted. And that is just one example that I can cite, that though Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, made commitments during COVID, the ravages or the sins of COVID, are not over. And that is another example. And, interestingly, I'm a fan of Donald Trump. My family doesn't like that, but I'm a fan of Donald Trump. And
that makes it 2 of you.
and the key thing is that Trump, to some large extent, never admitted that COVID or the pandemic was troublesome. But now, the evidence is so grave that Donald Trump, one of the naysayers, has admitted that he believes strongly that his election loss was largely due to, the economic woes of the pandemic. And I think that we cannot discount that, especially coming from Donald Trump. And I think that, many economies have struggled. France lost 100 seats recently. The Brits lost many seats recently because these were government running in hard times. And considering how resilient their economies are, I would, be surprised if Ghana, we can tout ourselves as being more economically resilient than the Western world. And I believe that we should cut ourselves some slack as Ghanaians sometimes and learn to appreciate the true challenges and how we've been able to weather the storm. And I have faith in this finance minister. He's an ordinary, down-to-earth minister, very approachable. He listens. He is with us. and he has the experience, and I think that it has been demonstrated in his works, and largely, one commitment of bringing you equipment to do more road work in your community. He says the president is going to commission that in about 10 days. I'm excited about that because I have many roads that needs help in my constituency. So for time's sake, there's so much good in this budget, but I think I have touched on all the key and critical components of this budget. And Finance Ministry, forgive me if I've missed any critical ones, because this budget is over 30-something pages, and it'll take us some time to peruse it in total. But these are the few words I have in support of the budget.
All right. Okay, so we'll take a break. I just wanted a little clarification from you. Are you suggesting that the COVID-19 levy is what we're using to build the Agenda 1 hospitals?
No, I said that, based on the commitment that Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo made, that commitment still carries on. That projects that were, started because of COVID, which are still running. So government, the consolidated fund takes money from all places and then disburses. So in as much as we haven't paid for all of the Agenda 111s, government, through the many tax handles, will use part of that revenue to do this.
All right, okay. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll take Sammy's bid on this. Yeah.
Again.
Hello, thank you for calling MTN.
This is Jerry, Jolly J for short.
How may I help?
I'm not happy with you guys at all. You've been giving Bongo gifts all the time.
Who is Bongo?
Oh, Bongo, my friend. He purchased in my room.
Oh.
You've been giving free gifts, but I don't.
That's MTN rewards, sir. Talk, text, browse, and more, and you get to redeem free call time or data by simply dialing *550#. And on Fridays, you can even get extra special rewards like food vouchers, shopping discounts, and much more.
Didn't tell me anything, no. Would you like to know how I got the name Jolly J?
That won't be necessary, Mr. Jolly. Calling customer care service doesn't give you points.
I'm gonna call my mom. I'll call my grandma. And I'll call my ex. That girl can talk, Papa. Hello, Mama. So what's the topic for today?
MTN.
Rise and shine. It's another day to stay on point. Toast is Friday, it's still on point. Watch is Friday all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
Watch is Friday,
it's still on point.
For your bread,
it's creamy.
For your toast,
it's still on point.
It's yummy, delicious.
It's still on point.
Still on point, yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
Still on point, yes, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
For your toast, it's still on point.
It's still on point.
Fortune spread, it's yummy, delicious.
It's still on point.
Fortune spread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
We are back, bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two, with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bets. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the partial daily jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
In today's modern world, Stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh bread.
I'm a fair missy way.
Prepare bantama.
My chest.
It's her smile, the fresh breath.
Me, Judy said we used to Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind. Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector. Cal 360 did the work. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You will see so feeling when you know Cal 360 toothpaste. Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Specialists in every kind of bone disease.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Baby, a son of beer. Nanso, yade timi sapa dompemu yade.
Spinal cord, swelling of the arms, arthritis, bone injury, swelling of the leg with reddish color around it, and so on. See, Bar Herbal Hospital has special ultra-modern machine for checking up the body. I have tried them and I got good results. Try Bar Herbal Hospital.
Here is to the friends who took the chance with no regrets. Investors no more hating fortune. To the health workers who diagnosed blacks every move. And then to the hard guy who couldn't hold his emotions. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hand-earned stitches into a bundle of joy. And now, here is to you. Your next big win is right here. From 1st July 2024, dial *712# and Coswato tickets as a group individual to win in the community draw or the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with *712#.
By the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. So with me on the show I have Dr. Dixon Adumaku-Kisi and Sammy Jemfi. Ayesoko, that could some damn be big, but Betway's cash out be bigger. Betway is giving you more control over every thrilling bet you place. Enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana on Betway without any hassle. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. It's not for persons under 18 and is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more. And Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. We already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been tested and tried. It's indeed the best. Blue Jeans Energy Drink is for bold and active men and women. So go on, grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide. You can also contact Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208 128 190 or 055 001 0000. Sammy?
Yes, sir.
Media review.
I'm very surprised at some of the comments that my good brother Dr. Dixon has made on this 2024 media budget review statement. Because you see, Doc, there is nothing in this budget that addresses the problems we are going through today. It is nothing but the same old story that the MPP has been telling us since they took office in 2017. Sweet, mouth-watering rhetorics, but in terms of real substance, totally empty. That is what this 2024 media budget review is all about. The same old story. There is nothing in it that offers the people of this country, the suffering masses, any hope that we are going to see any improvement in our livelihoods, our ever worsening livelihoods in this injury time that this failed Akufo-Addo Bawumia government has left 6 months. You see, as for budgets, they have presented some more. I realize that this media budget review did not have a slogan. I think that now the reality has set in. And now they have come to the realization that you can win power with slogans, but you can't govern a nation with slogans. You can't run an economy with slogans. Because once upon a time, 2017, we heard of Asempa budget. Later on, we heard of Nkosua budgets, Impuntuo budgets, Ejumapa budgets. Then after Ejumapa, Nkabom budgets. We even heard of Nkunim budgets. And we have heard of Ajenkwa budgets.
Nkunim is what? Victory.
Victory. So I wonder what victory they were celebrating. Ajenkwa budgets, and so on. What has been the end results of all those budget slogans? Very simple. The end results is a nation in total bankruptcy. A nation that has been riddled with debts as a result of Bawumia's reckless economic mismanagement and excessive borrowing, such that today we have defaulted on our debt obligations. We can't service our debts. Unemployment rate is soaring. It has increased from about 8.4% as of 2016 to close to 15% as we speak. The youth cannot find jobs. Those who are finishing school know that they are going to sit at home. Even the national service personnel are not being paid their petty allowances, basic allowances. The trained teachers are sitting home. The trained nurses are sitting home. There is no end in sight for our misery, which you have inflicted on us. That is the end results of all those sweet rhetorics and budget slogans. A country faced with bankruptcy. A country where today the vast majority of the people are reeling under excruciating hardships. Cost of living and cost of doing business at an all-time high, such that today businesses are folding up in Ghana and they are relocating to Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria. Big Pen is gone. Unilever is gone. Glovo is gone. And when these businesses go, what does it mean? It means that jobs are being lost. That is the end result. You see, you go to the market today, and one bucket of tomatoes, which was sold at 8 cedis in 2016, is today going for 120 cedis. In some places, far more. Today, a bag of cement has increased from 27 cedis to 110 cedis in some places. A gallon of diesel increased from 14 cedis in 2016, today almost 70 Ghana cedis. $1 from 4 cedis, 20 pesos in 2016, now almost 16 cedis. And Dr. Dixon, you come and sit here and say, the finance minister did very well. Things are getting, what is getting better? When was the last time you went to Malata market or Makola market? What is getting better in this country? That we started 2024 with the dollar going for 11 cedis, and today it is almost 16 cedis. That is the better, that is the improvement you are talking about. So please, there is nothing in this budget. Look, the saddest part, you see, when kings or leaders are about to end their tenure, that is when they do sober reflection, self-introspection on their record, and they begin to think about righting any wrongs they have committed. They begin to make amends. They begin to organize things properly. They begin to remedy things. One would have thought that this being the last budget of Akufo-Addo and Bawumia, they would have acted that way. They would have used this golden opportunity to at least ameliorate the plight of suffering Ghanaians, the plight that they have imposed on us through their insensitivity, their recklessness, the state capture, the corruption, the waste of public funds. But no, the opportunity they had to do something about, especially the nuisance, draconian, crippling taxes. This time again, they refused to do anything about it. And that is what tells me that this government has already checked out. They don't even have a modicum of empathy. Again, they don't have. Either than that, why will you present a mid-year budget in 2024 and not do anything about the COVID levy? Why? Why must Ghanaians still pay COVID-19 levy in 2024?
Are you not satisfied with the explanation by the Minister of State?
What explanation? Why are we paying COVID levy? What is that explanation?
She says that the threat of COVID-19 is no more. But the impact of COVID, we still feel. There are so many things we did during the pandemic that we have had to take care of. The effect of COVID is still with us, and the money is being used to address part of the effect of COVID. COVID is gone, but the effect is still with us. We still have to pay for vaccines. Also, once Parliament passed the COVID-19 levy, approval of the revenues that should come in 2024, it is still one of the revenues that we are collecting as a government.
And to maintain the IMF program.
Lies.
Without it.
Lies upon lies.
Don't
Don't you get tired of lying? Don't you get tired? These guys.
Where is the lie?
You see, the reason why she can talk, it's a lie.
Where is the lie?
That COVID is gone, but we are still dealing with the impact of, listen. Look,
It's not true.
hold on. Because of COVID, how much did we get as a country because of COVID? At least, if you check the Auditor General's report, he captured 22 billion cedis at the time. That's the Auditor General's report on COVID-19 expenditure. At the time, he only captured the 10 billion Ghana cedis born from the Bank of Ghana, captured the first $1 billion IMF rapid credit facility, captured about $430 million from the World Bank, and so on. But he did not even capture the second $1 billion special drawing rights facility from the IMF. He also did not capture the 45 billion cedis that the Bank of Ghana printed for them in 2022 alone. aside the first 10 billion they got in 2020 from Bank of Ghana.
Even that loan has not been serviced.
Doc, if you put even the 45 billion cedis from the Bank of Ghana aside, the COVID inflows alone was over $5 billion. In cedis, over 30 billion cedis. That is direct COVID receipts. 30 billion cedis. I've not even added the 45 billion printed for them by the Bank of Ghana illegally in 2022. But we know the cost of COVID, don't we?
She says we are still paying for vaccines.
As
an example.
The Auditor General says that we actually engage UNICEF for COVID-19 vaccines at a cost of $81 million. We've made payments and have not taken delivery of the vaccines. And today, who is taking COVID-19 vaccines in Ghana today? So what vaccines are they paying?
No, payments. We are still paying.
But we have even paid, if you check, you see, she is not an auditor. She only makes expenditure. The auditor is the one who will show you revenue versus expenditure. And if you check the COVID-19 audit reports, we've not seen any outstanding debts for vaccines. It is not in the reports.
But
number one, it's not in the reports. What we do know is that you even use COVID as a pretext to steal money through the procurement of vaccines. Why? Have you forgotten about the Sputnik V vaccine scandal? We lost $4 million.
No,
yes.
$2 million.
Okay, $2 million. Do you know, hold on, do you know the CD equivalent of $2 million?
I believe
Do you know the CD equivalent?
It was returned
no,
to
don't
test.
kill me.
No, it's been returned to test.
No, it's not true.
I thought so.
It has not been returned.
Who returned it?
Who returned
I
what?
thought, we'll double
That
check
agreement was illegal because it sinned against the public procurement law. And aside that, it was inflated. Because, hold on. You, when it gets to your time, you can talk about what your findings after you check. But it's been established, and in fact, a bipartisan parliamentary committee has indicted the finance minister for that and recommended that it be censured. A bipartisan parliamentary committee that probed the matter. Whereas the vaccine was being sold at $10, a broker in the best you went and bought it from some funny sheiks for $19. It was when we caught you that we abrogated that thing. But you had already paid money. Oh, you are one entity, one MPP, one government, consent corner. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. So, what vaccines are they paying for? They should tell us. And how much is that?
Oh, people are still.
No, even if you put those, let's even say we owe.
And I cited one.
Hold on, don't tackle me, sir.
No, I'm not.
That's a very serious matter.
Look, I cited more reasons.
Doc, the finance minister went to Parliament. Ken Oforiatta went to Parliament and told the whole nation how much COVID cost us.
At that time.
At the time.
Yeah.
It'll take
that was
2023. It'll take a decade.
And he told us that COVID cost us 12 billion cedis. 12 billion cedis. Yeah. When we know that the direct COVID inflows are more than 30 billion. Then they said, okay, there was a revenue shortfall of 14 million B. Even if you add that 14 billion revenue shortfall to the COVID expenditure of 12 billion cedis, yet the COVID cancer, there is still surplus.
There isn't.
There is still surplus out of the 30 billion.
Have you seen the latest special audit by the Auditor General?
No.
There's one on COVID.
No, I've not seen it.
Yes, maybe you should check that.
Okay.
It's more current and more detailed.
Okay.
So it even shows you particular amounts. The Bank of Ghana, 10 billion, where it went to. This, the 1 billion, where it went to, what was used for. You find that.
Yeah.
But I think it's a new document.
Okay, I'll check that.
You've seen that?
I've seen it.
Yeah, sure. But I'm pretty much sure that if you look at the inflows that came in,
don't prejudge,
as compared to
it confirms the budgetary support and what was actually spent on COVID. It confirms it.
That there is a surplus.
Yeah,
we had more than we needed to fight.
It confirms
it.
At
confirms
the time.
That's the point he's making. He's saying that even in the latest one that he has read, that
but
COVID gave us. No, you're heckling me too.
Sorry,
no.
1 minute.
No.
1 minute.
No, you won't have it.
No, please allow him
when I finish.
Okay.
Just take notes.
Look, this is a serious matter. The point is, all I'm saying is that COVID gave us more money than we needed to fight COVID and to contain it or to manage the disease and its effects. That's a fact. And even aside that, you have gone to the Bank of Ghana to print 45 billion cedis. Today, our central bank is bankrupt.
They are in debt.
They have
having recorded losses of 60 billion cedis in 2022 and 10 billion cedis in 2023. You understand? And you are still blaming COVID. You are still saying that we need to pay COVID levy for what? When COVID gave you far more money than we needed to fight the pandemic. In any case, let's even assume that the money we got from COVID was not enough. Even though we know it was more than enough. Let's even assume, for purposes of argument, dog. We've been paying this COVID levy in 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. So what is the terminal point? When will we stop paying?
It's a policy decision.
And in any case, let's use simple logic and common sense. In terms of the impact of COVID on nations, where does Ghana falls? We were one of the countries least affected by COVID. There were countries that had months,
Brazil.
Not weeks, months of total lockdown. We had 3 weeks of partial lockdown. There are countries who suffered because of COVID. Even those countries, check, there is no country in the world that has imposed COVID levy on its people. But how does it even make sense that you will turn a disease that has devastated businesses and livelihoods into a tax handle? Do we have a malaria levy? Do we have tuberculosis levy? Or HIV levy? Or typhoid levy? Or swine flu levy? Why do we need COVID levy? And at least even if you have collected it for 1 month or 1 year, why not stop it? 2024, you still want us to pay COVID levy. And that COVID levy is so annoying, it's on everything. The food you buy. Everything you buy, it is being charged like VAT. It is on the VAT flat rate. It is on NHIL, which is part of VAT.
Imports.
So everybody's paying it. It is on imports. And you had this golden opportunity. You didn't do anything about it. And you're here saying, oh, we've done well. We've done well. You've done well. How? The baller tax of 10 pesos per liter of diesel and petrol, it is still there.
Sanitation.
But we call it baller. Sanitation work. Baller. Why must we still be paying baller tax? You, where you live, your constituency, and Nyansu too.
Yeah.
What is baller tax being used to do there? The baller tax that your constituents are paying.
If I talk, you say I'm interjecting.
When you get your time, you tell us. Because we all see the filth in our communities. Even when we were not paying any baller tax on fuel, we saw Accra, the capital city.
The sea defense has changed.
Today, check, even with light rainfall,
go to the
you see many parts of Accra flooded. Because even common, the Celton, the assemblies didn't do. You are owing them common for they are not even getting money for the petty sanitation works. And yet we are still paying this tax for what? We are still paying e-levy. The e-levy that Bawumia said we should not charge e-levy. Momo is for the poor. He won't introduce a tax on e-levy. Yet, the then CEO of your party, John Boyd, who used to sit in cabinet, told us that Bawumia was very instrumental. The former general secretary, the former minister for information, and the spokesperson of Bawumia have all told us about how instrumental Bawumia was in this e-levy bill. And yet, today, at first they told us that Ken Uforiata was not listening to Bawumia. That's what I mean until we said that's Bawumia's boy. What about that? You say you will scrap the e-levy. This was your opportunity to do something before you die.
He's not yet president.
But he's still the chairman of the economic management.
But he's not president. The budget is the president's budget.
But the president, but at least as vice president, the president listens to him. Is he telling us that President Akufo-Addo has refused to listen to him?
Is it not obvious?
No, it's not obvious at all.
Okay.
Because a member of the economic management team, Alan Chemati, has told us that there is no vice president that he has seen who has been given enough room to operate and support by his boss like Bawumia. So I don't want to believe that Akufo-Addo, who told us that Bawumia is an economic wizard, all the wisdom in the world is in Bawumia's head, and that he brought him purposely to manage the economy, stabilize the city and all that, would today refuse to take advice from Bawumia. I don't think so. If that is what they are saying, they should say it. So it was a total missed opportunity. The betting levy, all those taxes, they didn't do anything about it. And look, what is even insulting to our sensibilities has to do with the things they are celebrating. Number one, they say that we have been forgiving debt. You see, sometimes you guys don't cease to amaze us. We've been forgiving debt, so that one will be achievement. You are applauding the finance minister. Are you not ashamed of that? Like, not you as a person, but as a government, are you not ashamed that as a middle income country, a country that left HEPIC 2 decades ago, 20 years ago, some of those watching us had not even been born by then. Today you have taken us back 20 years ago, that today we are going around begging people who have lent us money to forgive us. And when they forgive us some money, say, okay, oh dear, in Mr. you've been reckless, you've been irresponsible, you can't pay the money you borrowed from us. And you come and sit on Good Morning Ghana and say, you've done well. Are you not ashamed? Do you know? Who told you it's positive? It's not positive.
It is a positive.
The positive is that because of your recklessness, you'll be given, hold on, a temporary relief. But do you know the cost in the medium to long term? The day Ghana manages to return to the capital market, do you know the premiums will pay? Do you know the interest rate will pay? Because of this thing you have done. You see, you guys, you have no idea. Like Dr. Ishmael Amzin said, you've set this country backwards for 40 years. What you have done.
I mean, for those who suffered losses of their investments during the domestic, let's even speak to the Ghanaian people.
Yeah.
During the domestic debt exchange, those who have suffered losses on their savings. When you mount a podium and you create the impression that you should be applauded for doing something exceptional, for thinking outside the box, how do you expect them
Those
to
are not
feel?
the words I used. Yeah.
I'm not saying you. How do you expect them to feel and think?
That clap for me.
Okay. That our debt burden has reduced because I decided to take from your savings. I decided, and you see, me, I keep saying this thing. The analogy I give, which for me is most insulting, is that you government, you tell me that there is a get fund levy, there is ESLA. I see that those levies are there. Monies are collected every second in this country. And then you tell me that you want to float a bond. On the basis of those tax handles, I should come and buy those bonds. It is a complete no-brainer for me in terms of the source of repayment.
Yes.
Because I know there are existing tax handles. On the basis of that, I go and take my investment or my savings somewhere else to come and buy those bonds. Then, one morning, you get up, I don't know whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening. You get up and you tell me that
you can't pay.
You're unable to pay that. We should come and renegotiate the terms that you offered me, for which reason I gave you the money. And I should accept a haircut. I should accept a deferred payment. You're changing even the mode of the thing. And at the time that you are telling me this, you are still collecting
the taxes.
Those taxes. You have not stopped collecting them. You are still collecting them till date.
It is so painful.
And then when you finish, you come and tell me that I should
We've
applaud
done well.
you.
We've done well. Because we've managed.
You must think that I am some.
Is it? They think that we are daft.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
You've so much borrowed.
But
you've borrowed recklessly.
I'll let you finish.
It's not fair.
Wasted those borrowed funds on corruption, waste, misplaced priorities. And today you come and tell me that you can't pay my money. You have taken my money, and you say you've done.
People buy cocoa bonds, and you go and give them a crude haircut.
Yeah.
You change the interest payment on it, percentage, everything. You change everything, and so you give them a haircut. Then on the basis of the haircut that you have given people who invested their money, then you come and declare profit.
Yeah.
And you say that
you've done well.
You've done well. You have declared profit because of the haircut.
But Doc, you see, people have actually died if they don't know. I'm telling them. There are people, including pensioners, who gave you their monies. Hold on. Don't interject.
Headway?
Hold on.
Or
we should. We should, but we can't do the headway.
You don't. That is not an achievement.
No,
that is an unpardonable, sacrilegious, unforgivable sin that you should be apologizing for. You don't come and tell us that we have done well because we've been able to appropriate monies you lent to us. We are not paying you. Look,
no. I think you've spoken
please,
quite
don't do
a
that.
bit.
Hold on.
I'll give you the opportunity to respond to everything. Don't worry.
Okay.
This expenditure that is saying that we didn't ask for supplementary budget. Nasikana we na wakwa just supplementary. What is Sikana Manasa? There is no money. The IMF money we are getting is not even enough. So where are you going to get the money from? You can't go to the capital market to borrow. So if you bring a supplementary request, where will the money come from? You can't. But understand something.
Add that at least.
Hold on.
You didn't bring another tax handle.
Hold on. Hold on.
At least, and also, do you
want to talk again?
No, I'm just saying.
You know, I like.
Look,
it.
don't give him the opportunity to heckle you when you speak.
I'm not heckling
because you have overdone it.
I think that for the purposes of the audience, they would want to listen to one person at a time.
So. Doc, this expenditure thing, understand this. The fact that you did not come for a supplementary estimate, you are not asking for more money, doesn't mean that your expenditure will be within limits. Because the original appropriation still exists. But it is very possible.
It is possible.
That by it is very possible that by the end of this year you would have exceeded that expenditure like you did in 2020. When you spend recklessly for election-related purposes, and the deficit hit 15.6%. Oh yes, of course, it is possible. It is possible for a gallon of petrol to move from 14 cedis to 70 cedis. And it is very possible that if we make a mistake and give you another 4 years, that gallon of petrol can cross 100 cedis all the way to 200 cedis. It is possible that a dollar can move from 4 Ghana cedis to almost 16 Ghana cedis today, and it is possible that under you it will cross 20 cedis and move to 30 cedis and above. It is very possible that if we give this country to you, we will default on our debt obligations again. So we know what is possible under you, the bad things. That is what is possible under you. But Doc, the point I'm making is that the fact that somebody says, okay, what you gave me initially is enough, I'm not coming for more, doesn't mean that expenditure will not exceed the original appropriations. I hope you understand that. So that is not something you celebrate. Until we end the fiscal year, we cannot, and already you have exceeded a lot of the projections you made in terms of expenditure. You've exceeded plenty. Number 2, debt to GDP has come down. Why won't debt to GDP come down when you are not servicing your debt? And you see, Doc, that is the most serious aspect of the problem we are going through. What is happening today, which is being celebrated, is not a solution of the problem. Listen to me carefully. It is not a solution of the problem, but a deferment and a postponement of the problem.
Procrastination.
You have destroyed the country, and you are saying that you are shifting the problem to 2026 and beyond. So the next NDC government, are you thinking about the problem you are bequeathing to us? All you are doing is that you have done the problem carry forward. You postponed it. That's what you have done. So all these things, debt to GDP has come down. Today the debt is 742 billion cedis on cash basis. Only. Oh, look. What is happening to you? 742 billion cedis is only. 742 billion. When you were coming,
is this when you write a check, you add only, irrespective of how much.
This is not a joke. This is about the future of future generations. This is not a joke. You came and met a public debt of 120 billion. You said it was too much. We were borrowing too much. Yet we don't have to borrow for roads. All we need to do is to tow the roads, and we will get money to build all the roads. The money is here. I've worked at the Bank of Ghana before. I'm talking about Bawumia, the chronic liar. And today, under him as chairman of the economic management team, the public debt is 742 billion. From 120 to 742 billion. You've added 622 billion to the public debt, with very little to show.
The 740, it's obviously minus the debt forgiveness.
It's minus.
Yes.
Because that's what he himself reported. Minus. And this is even on cash basis, so we've not added the commitments.
So what it means is that our debt would have been about 900 billion.
Yes, 900 billion. And in fact, Doc, if you follow the IMF guidelines, the program guidelines, they insist that you must add arrears to the debt. So if you add the new arrears you're accumulating, we are over 800 billion already. Are you thinking about how the next generation is going to deal with this debt? You have borrowed so much money. You don't even have one district hospital started and completed. One. Started and completed. One.
I mean, even the president was recently at Kumewu.
You started Kumewu Hospital. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, just recent.
What are you talking about here? I'm saying that John Mahama started District Hospital, Dodowa Hospital, in 4 years. Started, completed, commissioned, operationalized. In 8 years. Show me one district hospital you started and completed.
There are many, which are even listed in the budget.
Yes, one.
And I believe that...
One.
If...
The cameras are on you, one.
So now I can talk now, right?
Yes, this one I'm giving you my time. Started and completed, one hospital.
Oh, in fact,
one district hospital.
If I won't even talk about district, I know that the urology department actually...
No, we are talking about district
I'm
hospital.
Giving it, which is bigger.
You were here trying to make a case for COVID levy because of Agenda 111. I have told you.
That alone is about 4 or 5 district hospitals.
Please.
No, it is.
Please. You don't have one.
You can't dispute the fact.
So, Doc, this thing is so sad. What have you used the money for? Cathedral, $58 million. A cathedral of lies. And a cathedral based on evil. A cathedral that is totally fraudulent. You have defrauded Ghanaians and now you have defrauded God. You have taken money. If these were the days of the Old Testament, the earth would have swallowed
God
you.
has not been defrauded. What you want to say
well,
is
God is not man
what you want
that
to
he
say
can
is
be
that
defrauded.
the name of God has been used.
The name of God has been used to steal from the people, to defraud the people. You say you are building. No. I take it from you because you can't defraud God. He's right. He's a staunch member of Action Chapter. So he knows, and I got it wrong. You can't even you can't mock God. You can't defraud God. Yeah. But you have used the name of God to defraud the people.
So when do I get it?
And this is far worse. That you take taxpayers' money. When you lie to the people that you will not use taxpayers' money for the project, and you spend so much. The last time I heard the Japan Mesa shamelessly defending this, that they use it for that foundation. What you see on the screen is that foundation.
Yes.
Is this
that
foundation?
is the foundation.
It's the beginning of a foundation. This is not foundation.
No.
Doc, this is not a foundation of that casting. Have you seen the drawing? Where is the casting?
It's the foundation.
Casting, no way.
It's been covered, you can see.
With what? It is so sad.
It's called the substructure.
And today, Ghana, the whole Ghana, we have only 4 MRI machines.
So I mean, it's called the substructure.
Substructure. Today, you go to Komfuanoche, and we don't have dialysis machines. You had to even close down the Kolebu renal unit for 4 months because you owed them 4 million cedis keke. 17 Ghanaians died.
Out.
The damage you guys have done to this country. Even childhood vaccines you couldn't buy. Children, innocent children had to die because we didn't have childhood vaccines. They had to take Nigeria to save us. You had monies for all these things. And today you come and sit here and say things are getting better. So Doc, as for me, and lastly, when he talks about we've put 10 billion cedis into roads. So we should do what? You are the most resource government in the history of Ghana. Your total resource envelope alone is over 1 trillion new Ghana cedis. 1 trillion new Ghana cedis. And I have the breakdown here.
Doc,
in terms of loans, in terms of grants. Yes, I will read it. And that thing, I heard Nana Komia say that thing here.
That's what?
That's, they have borrowed $13 billion. And we have borrowed $40 billion. So illiterate, Doc. So illiterate. Because number one, it is not true.
If you disagree with him, say
no, Doc. 622 minus 120.
Is it appropriate to say it's illiterate?
Doc.
Thank you.
Simon, is it appropriate to say it's illiterate?
So mischievous, so misleading.
Okay.
Let me use that. I'm taking back that one. Because you increase the public debt from 120 billion to 742. You've added 622. That is it. That debt is made up of, hold on, it has a domestic component and a foreign component. Hold on. But the reason why the Bank of Ghana, in reporting our debts always report it in cedis is because we service the debt with cedis.
Yes.
Whether it is a domestic debt or foreign debt, you will use the national currency, the cedi, to service it.
In fact, how do you determine your debt to GDP? How do you determine debt sustainability?
It is all cedis.
Yes.
Because the GDP is in cedis.
How do you determine interest payment?
Exactly.
Debt, yeah.
But assuming that if we want to do, hold on, I'm just wrapping up so that you come in.
Okay.
But if you want to do even that pedestrian analysis, 622, if you divide it by the current rate, you won't get $13 billion. It's a lie. That's number one. But number two, you can't divide it because what it means is that if you are reckless with the exchange rate and the dollar rate is high, because the dollar rate is 16 cedis, if you divide it by any number, you get a small number in dollars. So that is not an achievement.
In fact, Dr. Bawumia in 2014 or 2015, when he said that you guys don't read, that was the analysis he was making. Yes. That you use the dollar value at the time that you took the money and not the current.
The dollar value today is 16 or 15.7 because of your recklessness. If you divide that even by 622, right? Even by 622, that is almost $24 billion, not 13. But it is $24 billion because the rate has gone up so high. So what you are dividing the debt by is high, and
but
so what you get in dollars.
But the finance minister, the finance minister has just told us that the debt forgiveness, what he describes as debt forgiveness alone, is $8 billion.
Yes. What are you talking
about?
That
alone is $8 billion.
And the Eurobond alone, before we defaulted, $11 billion. Eurobonds.
We took 13.
$13 billion. Eurobond alone. When Mills Mahama did less than 4 billion, you did 13 billion. And you come and sit on TV and say, look, the public debt was 9.9 billion at the time Kofo was leaving office because we have been forgiven about 5 billion cedis as a result of EPIC. We increased it from 9.9 billion to 120 billion in 8 years. An increase of about 110 billion. You have increased the public debt by 622 billion. And yet what you have to show for is a bankrupt economy with unbearable cost of living, unbearable cost of doing business. People are suffering, and so just have the decency and the humility to empathize with the people, be candid with the people, and begin to take practical action to reduce the waste, reduce the corruption, and reduce the excessive taxes that have made life unbearable for us. Until you do that, any budget, any document you present is totally useless because it will not offer us any comfort or reprieve. It will not bring us any relief in our livelihoods. That is it.
All right, Doc.
All right. So I mean, he's made some points, and I expect that from, Sami. I mean, it is what it is. What he's telling me today, unfortunately, is the fact that regardless of where we find ourselves in this country, getting debt relief is not good. And that is shocking for me because I believe that...
It says don't get into debt distress in the first place.
Yes, I agree. But we are there. So my key thing is that shall we remedy the situation, or are we saying that we should just have our arms up in the air? And I believe that what is in the interest of Ghana, whether, and hear me out carefully, whoever wins the next election, what we do today matters for that person, be it MPP, be it NEC. And as a responsible government, I believe that the measures that have been taken now, as of today, are in the best interest of Ghana, regardless of who wins elections next year. And I know that in his heart, he knows for a fact that if you owe and you are forgiven and your interest is reduced, it is a positive thing. I find it very unfortunate that Sami James will sit here and say on national TV that the government receiving debt forgiveness, which lessens the burdens of the average Ghanaian, is not good. I find it very preposterous. Now, the other thing is that he can never say anywhere that your indebtedness with the interest rate reduction is bad and that there's nothing in the budget. That is so untrue. If you are spilling truth, then admit where things are good. And for me, based on bankruptcy proceedings that I know in everywhere in the world, these are the key things that any academic, any person with enough depth and breadth in bankruptcy proceedings will say that, hey, all the things you're doing. And let me say that the metrics that the IMF has given us, by which they have given us a third tranche, is based on the fact that we are on course, not derailed. And if you cannot, quote unquote, even if we were off and now we are on track with getting our house in order, you cannot discount that.
So Doc,
we shouldn't.
Doc, from what you have read and your experiences, will any organization retain the managers who led the organization into bankruptcy?
Well, let me say that as we sit here today, and that's why I started off with Karaga, and I said that our exchequer has been changed. And that for me is monumental. And it is reflecting in the budget.
How?
Oh, the exchequer before, Adam was Kenuforiata.
Yes.
And he's been changed. And as part of bankruptcy proceedings,
the things that
the first things.
The things that you refer to as harvests from the negotiations.
Yes.
They are the work of the person that you said has been changed.
Not necessarily so.
How?
Because the debt forgiveness came just recent, after he had left.
Yeah, but the engagements that
the engagement did not
everything,
land
and the domestic party did it. Eh?
The engagements.
Yes.
Up until he left had not landed us in forgiveness.
You mean we had not completed it?
Correct.
Yes, but he had secured a letter, for which reason we were even given the second tranche. He had done the domestic one.
We're talking about the third tranche. Now,
Yes.
the other key thing, you asked me the retention, and I've said that in line with what you're expecting, the exchequer has been changed. And that is monumental. And even that, I'm not here to say that
I will not blame.
We should commend.
I will not necessarily blame an exchequer. For example, the budget that was presented.
And let me add one
It is
before
not,
we forget.
Nante's budget.
Plainly written here, I deeply empathize with fellow Ghanaians. So for Sami to sit here and say that we don't empathize, I this is Finance Minister's words, not my words. I deeply, and this is on page 2, first paragraph. Mr. Speaker, it has indeed been a difficult time, and I deeply empathize with our fellow Ghanaians. So my thing is that, listen, I appreciate what Sami wants to do, but the positives must be heard by the Ghanaians. And every banker,
which
business
positive
person,
is what? Debt forgiveness.
Oh, listen. Are you? So let me do the devil's advocate thing here. Sami, should the NDC win next year, would you ask for debt forgiveness?
Well,
it's a yes or no.
Listen.
Would you?
Listen.
Would you plead that your interest rates are reduced?
Listen.
It's a yes or no.
We can ask if we ask for debt forgiveness and we get debt forgiveness.
Would you ask?
It is not out. It's not out of the options. It's possible that we will ask for it.
You have to.
And if we get that debt forgiveness, it is not the same as you, the one who caused the mess.
No, but you are admitting that
getting debt forgiveness and celebrating it as an achievement. Because, Doc, I'm saying that there is going to be a cost.
No, I asked you.
Do you agree that there's going to be a cost? This is not like HEPIC relief.
No, I asked you 2 key questions.
If you go on the capital market
would you plead
and you
for
borrow
interest
money
rate reduction?
And you don't pay,
Would
whether
you
the
plead
money
for
is given
interest
to you
rate
for free
reduction?
or deferred,
Answer.
You are going to pay premiums. And the special interest rate you pay.
So admittedly,
it is going to destroy your credit worthiness.
No, are you going to ask for those 2 things?
It is possible that we will ask for it.
No, let's be clear here. Will the NDC, should they win, ask for?
I'm not going to be the finance minister. I'm saying it's possible that we are going to ask for it.
Why will there be the need for the next government to ask for debt forgiveness? Why would there be the need?
Listen, we have an economic situation post-COVID that admittedly is not in the best of shape. And as part of climbing out of our current bundles or chains, it is in the interest of any government or any finance person to at most plead for interest rate reduction. And then
why I asked the question is
what situation do we have?
We have,
and how did that come about?
Concluded, according to Finance Minister, we've concluded the deal with the creditor committee, with the Eurobond holders. with it. So we are done with it. But you're suggesting that there is the need for us to go for more debt.
Let me say this categorically, that in negotiation for financing, as you come out of the woods, for instance, they pegged us to have a growth of 1.5. Now we're at 2.9. If by year end you're a banker and Ghana's growth rate hits above 5, you will want to come back to the table and say that, listen, even the amount that the principal that we tell you to pay on, we're going to increase it and then reduce your interest. That is a part of the negotiation. It can happen. And come mid-April next year, any serious-minded government...
You are not answering the question.
No, I have answered.
He says, why is there a need for the next NDC government to go for debt forgiveness? It is because you have plunged us into bankruptcy as a result of your reckless borrowing. So you should be the last person.
My question was that, will you ask it
as an achievement?
And you have to.
That's the point we are making.
It is.
Why is Cote d'Ivoire not begging for debt forgiveness? If somebody who free debt,
Sammy,
why is Togo? They all know that it will come at a cost.
You have a legal mind.
Let's understand that this thing is not free.
Sammy,
interestingly, yesterday with Desi.
You have a legal mind.
Yesterday with Desi, my young friend who does the trends. The issue of this credit score and all those things came up.
Which is American.
I used Ghana's situation to describe it to him.
Yeah.
You know, that I do not have any problem with a credit score, which creates a credit system in this country. However, I don't like it when people create the impression that it is a solution or the panacea to a problem. Because at the end of the day, how do you build credit? If you go and take something, how do you build a credit score anyway? You go and take something on credit.
Paying back.
It's the paying back. Whether you're able to pay back or not, which determines your score. So the key thing is the people's ability
to pay back,
to be able to pay back whatever they go and take on credit. And so your credit score, whether it is positive or negative, good or bad, is dependent on
ability to pay.
Your ability.
And
I use Ghana.
Yeah.
I use Ghana's situation to explain it. That if you want to look at a credit score, then look at Ghana.
Yeah.
So Ghana's credit score,
junk.
That when they closed the capital market from to us, it was when the investors realized that we are not in a position to pay our debts.
Yeah.
And this was long before we declared
the default.
The default, yes. But they had taken that decision because increasingly they could tell. They look at the data, everything. And that is how come they started downgrading us.
Yes.
So that's the credit score.
Yes.
I agree.
So you are upgraded, you are maintained, or you are downgraded.
So the issue is that what is then going to be the impact
of
this
so now the point is that
positive.
That is how come you see that is how come a country like Japan would have a debt to GDP of over 200%. Yet it is still able to take loans for under 1%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of
they are less
they pay.
They are less
yes.
They are able to pay.
And that is how come somebody might have a debt to GDP of 70%. Yet the person will be borrowing at 9% and 13%.
Yes. So you see, Doc, now we've been locked out. We can't even go to the capital market. But
to go there,
if the next NDC government even manages to take us back, then President Mahama has said that we won't be in a hurry to go there. Why? Because we know that we are going to face huge premiums. Huge interest.
Yeah, you are at risk.
The risk is so high.
Yeah, but
you are what you have done. So that is the way. Let me break it down for you to understand. Because of what you have done in failing to
pay. Who says he doesn't understand? You understand?
Because it is self-inflicted confusion.
But are you admitting
by refusing to pay
to dig out of this
and celebrating debt forgiveness and all that, you have increased the credit risk
the problem,
of this country.
You see, Doc, the problem
that nobody will believe us again.
The problem I have in all of this is that
the
problem I have in all of this is that okay, well, government is telling a story the way it wants to tell it. No problem. Okay, but as a country, we need to begin, or to also seriously not begin, because I've heard that discussed even on this program, it's come up a few times. But we need to seriously interrogate the implications or repercussions of what has happened.
Oh,
whether it is investor confidence. Because you see, how many Ghanaians who have gone through
bankruptcy,
the DDEP, how many Ghanaians would have the confidence to say that tomorrow government of Ghana is floating a bond, so I'm going
to buy back again. And even if you're going to buy, what would be the interest?
Yes.
So
I'm going to go back there.
In concluding my remarks, I think that
conclude with an apology on behalf of Bawumia and your government for destroying the economy.
The empathy bit is largely about understanding the pain of the average Ghanaian and many investors who have lost, and that nobody has hidden from that. The MPP, has been with us, and the key thing, and
why don't you want to take responsibility?
I don't understand.
You see, there's one thing saying I empathize with people suffering, but even in this statement, you go blaming COVID, Russia, Ukraine.
Oh no!
For where we are.
Yes.
No.
You're not taking responsibility.
I think, admittedly, this finance minister, in fact, reduced the number of times he wrote COVID in the state.
But he still wrote it.
I think.
So it's about the reduction. No.
Listen, my point is that.
And that COVID excuse.
Well, it's an improvement.
We have to listen.
This is where we have sunk to. It's how low.
But it's an improvement.
Sammy, listen. You have a legal mind, and I believe that even.
Why do you keep saying I have a legal?
No.
mind?
Let me.
It means you're a lawyer.
What I'm trying to make a point is that
you're a trained lawyer, aren't you?
Because of your training, it can't be that the defense lawyer will have nothing positive to say about the prosecutor. Some things the defense lawyer even has to admit that, in fact,
the positive being what? A dollar being sold at 16 cedis.
May I land? So my point is that, are you telling me categorically that none of the actions taken in this media review are in the interest of Ghana?
According to Global Info Analytics, the topmost priority of Ghanaians today is high cost of living. What is in this budget?
But if you're
hold on. I'm asking you to help me.
Okay.
What is in this budget that is going to reduce the hardships we are going through?
So let me tell you two
the
things.
The CD, reduce the dollar rate, bring down fuel prices.
So can I tell you two things?
Bring down cost of food. Inflation is still hovering around.
Can I tell you two things
Tell
you
me.
asked? One of the first things is that our reserves are better, which means that
don't even see that anywhere. What the minister quoted is the gross international reserve, and you don't use gross international reserve.
Where is your reserves are better? What are you comparing it to?
What are the reserves? Are you talking about?
So you asked me one key thing: how all of this will help the average.
It is not true that our reserves are better.
So are you going to tell me? Are you going to tell me that now, based on our improvement in debt to GDP, it will not impact the average Ghanaian? Is that what you're telling me?
How will it impact? The improvement in debt to GDP.
So let me help
because
you.
your external creditors have decided to reduce interest and to forgive you some debt.
Listen.
So debt servicing has come down.
So
your debt to GDP has come down. How does that translate into a reduction in the hardships
so in very
that the
terms,
market woman is going through?
Let me help all of
driver.
us. Let me help all of us.
Yeah, tell us.
Based on our debt, if our debt is quantified in apples, and we're all carrying 10 apples, by the reduction of the indebtedness, the apples we are carrying individually will come down to about.
So the
7.
dollar will stop going up. It won't cross 16.
Absolutely.
That's what you're saying. How?
Absolutely.
What's the linkage?
On the basis of
I'm giving you a very simple,
on the basis of what you said, I heard the finance minister say that largely on account of this forgiveness,
correct,
expenditure is going to reduce by some 2.1%
because of the interest rate.
Yeah, some 2.1% or so.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of it having an effect on the Ghanaian, which is what you're talking about, couldn't government have also said that in view of this 2.1%, we're also taking this tax handle.
Yeah, we are reducing taxes.
Which was expected to bring in revenue of this for maybe the last 2 quarters.
To reduce the hardships.
So where all of us are even in agreement with finance ministry is the fact that because we locked in to the IMF agreement, those handles are one of the reasons why we got these opportunities. So we are locked in up to about, I think, mid-April next year to be able to review down all these, including E-levy.
Doc, let me.
These are the facts.
No, Doc, listen. You can be saving. Okay,
we owe. And we need to come out of our indebtedness. And those tax handles are one of the things that the OCC looked at, that, okay, though you are very bad, these revenues will show you up a little so that you can pay us. So we'll extend the time for you to pay. Then you come home and then say that, oh, now that they have agreed.
So what you're saying is that for example, so what I want to understand something. What you're saying is that, for example, there was no way we could have repealed e-levy.
Up until the next review.
No, so there was no way we could have repealed
right now until the next review.
So we are keeping e-levy not because Nana Akufo-Addo is not listening to Bawumia.
That is.
You see how you have
that is factual.
Yourself.
No, that is factual.
Okay. Now, you see though.
And then let me also teach you, or say one key thing, not teach. Money is fungible. All the tax handles really just go into the consolidated fund. Then adjudication happens or appropriations happen. So look at every tax handle as a way of government mobilizing funds, like the reintroduction of the.
But must that not be balanced?
Doc, I'm confused here.
The cost and standard of living of the people, must that not be that balance?
That is why I'm hopeful that in the next review, a handle like the e-levy will be dropped.
Doc.
In April 2025.
And that is because we have to
a bit confused.
adhere to the rudiments.
Is he representing the MPP on this show?
Why not?
The thing I've said.
Were you living in Ghana in 2016?
Why? Why are you asking him that?
Or do you watch Good Morning Ghana? The tapes you usually play?
Why are you asking
which one now?
Your chairman of the economic management team was the one who told us that the tax burden on the Ghanaian people in 2016 was too much.
And we removed a lot.
And that you will move Ghana from taxation to production. And that when you keep on imposing taxes, you end up in a downward cyclical spiral of something that
we did remove.
Master, all the
that's
taxes,
factual.
we can pick the list. With the exception of 2, all the taxes you claim you scrapped, you have reintroduced all of them in worse forms. If you like, bring the list. I will go through them
so you admit that some were removed.
So don't even go there. Don't Don't come and lecture us today.
No, some were removed.
Every tax handle.
And some were also reduced.
Hold on. That every tax handle is a means of raising money. Who doesn't know that? Is that the social contract you have with the people?
The reality is that
people are suffering.
If I am a Ghanaian citizen or a business, and in 2015, you tell me that the taxes are killing my business, the taxes are killing me.
Taxes usually do.
Yes. You tell me that.
As at that time.
And you tell me that, look, the government then has completely lost it. And that any fanciful idea that comes into their head, they implement it. And that they are killing businesses. And that what you must do is to reduce the tax burden. Focus on production.
And then you get
when production goes up, you would make the money from there.
From income tax.
And that is a more sensible approach.
Yes.
Until COVID came.
No, even before COVID came.
Before COVID came.
Would you say that the tax burden on the Ghanaian and the Ghanaian business was better than when
it's better today
than when Dr. Bawumia was saying that we overburden with taxes?
Emphatically no.
Would you say that?
Stop the double standard.
In fact,
the inconsistency.
you remember that during the e-levy debate, then government started telling us about how our tax revenue to GDP ratio
is less.
It's so low compared to what in 2015. In 2015, what was our tax revenue to GDP? At that time,
lower than it is today.
At that time, didn't we know that Ghana's tax revenue to GDP was one of the lowest in Africa?
Exactly.
And that it wasn't good.
Exactly. Look, everything you've said, spot on. And it all goes to show that these are friends in the NPP led by Bawumia are just a group of dishonest people. You trust them because you are saying the very opposite of everything you told us and promised us in opposition on the basis of which you were elected. Your policy on taxation, which is what Doc has succinctly and brilliantly summarized, to reduce the tax burden on businesses and to allow for production so that we're making more tax revenue through income taxes. You are doing the very opposite today. To the look at the businesses leaving Ghana and look at the job losses that is leading to. And they are leaving Ghana, they are not going abroad, they are going to Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria too.
Interestingly,
and you are here.
Interestingly, Nana Akufo-Addo kept also citing examples of some companies.
Yes.
Who had relocated to Cote d'Ivoire, and that is where he kept comparing us
to Cote d'Ivoire. And now back to this expenditure matter.
Meanwhile, COVID also didn't jump Cote d'Ivoire.
Yes. Doc, you see, if for example the finance minister went to Parliament and said that look, we brought down expenditure because we budgeted to spend so and so at the presidency, we've cut down that expenditure. We budgeted to spend this on goods and services, we've cut down that expenditure. That would be something worth commending. But if that reduction in expenditure is as a result of, we borrowed so much, we're so reckless in borrowing, so that our public debt got to an unsustainable level, we could not pay. And we managed to get the creditors, those we owe money, to forgive us some money and to reduce interest on part of that money. So because of that, your expenditure has come down. That is not worth commending.
But Sami, the truth is that it also takes some skill and expertise to be able to negotiate at that level and to probably get what government got.
What skill and expertise? You see,
it's not as if the people we got up and they gave us a paper.
Thank you.
This is not back and forth.
Thank you very much.
The back and forth in summary is we can't pay.
No, that's why we made proposals. There were counter proposals.
But we are saying we can't pay.
We kept negotiating.
We can't pay. So the man wants to at least get something from you. The money. So they are bound. No creditor will happily decide to forgo money that they have lent. So it is a bitter pill they've had to swallow because they know already they've made some money. They are thinking about safeguarding the rest. So they can say, take this. But it is not a good thing for the government that created that mess. No matter the sophistry, the expertise they employed in negotiating that debt forgiveness, to celebrate that. Because we should not have gotten there in the first place.
We don't celebrate our milestones
that debt forgiveness
in this country.
It's still coming to us at a high cost. But look, the long and short of this matter. What is the positive? Master, I am a driver. I am buying a gallon of petrol, a gallon of diesel at almost 70 Ghana cedis. What is in this mid-year budget which is going to bring that down? The taxes you have heaped on the price build down of fuel.
You see it.
The taxes you have increased boss margin by 900%.
In a few weeks,
increased
you see it.
Fuel market margin by 477% and so on. The new taxes you have introduced, in addition to the existing taxes you have increased astronomically.
You didn't see the NHIS
Which ones have you reduced?
You've not seen the NHIS increment.
Listen, Akufo-Addo himself
school feeding.
checked that long time ago when he told us that the next president will come and fix his mess. He told us that. Akufo-Addo told us publicly that it will take the next president to come and fix the mess. So you guys have already checked that you are totally clueless about resolving this problem you have created. And that is why our surest bet as a nation, and you know it,
this interim measure is
to vote for change.
Very important.
Listen.
Very important.
That is why
you can't discount it.
There is no interim measure here that offers hope. No interim measure.
For you.
Not even one. I gave you the opportunity. You couldn't even mention one. You couldn't even mention one in this media budget. No, you've been planting.
You know, every teacher can teach.
They say they
some
spent over
$2.8
billion cedis on a so-called planting for food and jobs program, when they have been planting for high food inflation and joblessness. How can you spend 2.8 billion on planting for food and jobs, and today food inflation in Ghana is one of the highest in the sub-region?
Inflation is
hold on, and today there is total joblessness.
Cost,
you are talking about increasing.
We don't control
school feeding. Even the caterers you are not paying. They owe capitation grants 8 terms. 8 terms, 2.5 years.
It's been addressed.
So listen, there is nothing here that offers hope. you are totally
For
bankrupt
Sami
in ideas in resolving the problem you have created.
This
and that is why
a
I say,
very important
let me conclude.
intervention.
That is why I say that our surest bet of getting out of this mess
will be to
is
maintain
voting
the
for
interest
change
and maintain
Ghana,
the debt.
For Ghana to be reset.
To maintain the interest
It lies in changing these nation wreckers, your government, and bringing into office a new government led by an experienced leader with a proven track record,
we'll have a new
man of vision, a man of integrity, a man we can trust. And that man is none other than His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
So
you show us one good thing here that is going to reduce the hardship.
From here, you're going to Parliament.
In fact, I have a small meeting somewhere to go to.
Okay.
I've been moved to handle communication as well now. So
for what?
I'm a vice chair for the committee for communication.
So you've moved from
Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
So you moved from Foreign Affairs Committee.
Yes.
You are now vice for comms.
Communication.
But are you still on public accounts?
No.
Okay.
I'm now doing. I'll be handling.
Look,
but before I go,
before
if I don't do this,
okay, you do.
You know, by way of grassroots, I have my constituency.
Oh, before you talk about constituency, we are not.
No.
There is something about this.
His birthday is today.
No, we are not going to birthday now.
Let him understand. Let him.
You have to understand this.
No, let him do what he must do.
You have to understand.
Now, how would the person even celebrate?
Dr. Admaku, go ahead.
I only wanted to tell you to make it a point to watch tomorrow's show.
Okay.
Oh, tomorrow's Good Morning.
We are not done.
Because you will know the wickedness that in spite of all these things, 23rd February 2024, you gave $10 million to Akufo-Addo's daughter's baby father.
Please.
Akufo-Addo's daughter's baby father.
Okay.
Was giving $10 million, 121 million cedis for spare parts for ambulances for no work done.
Yes. The boy's name. He does a lot of work on ships, but I think he's in the country.
Osborne Tinkran.
I'm wishing him a happy birthday. Okay. And before I forget,
how is he going to celebrate it?
Yesterday too was 12 years. The demise of Atta Mills.
Yes.
And I respect past presidents a lot, and I wish the family well in these times of.
So a question I was going to ask you: why I asked if you were going to Parliament today, is because your colleagues, the minority, they say the debate on the media starts today.
Oh, okay.
And they've thrown an invitation to the vice president.
Yeah. Oh, but he can't come to the chamber.
No, he can't.
No, they say the standing orders allows him.
But they've been asking for a debate between
because he has been asking for
the two people, which is he.
Have you seen a licensed driver?
It says parliamentary rules permit a sitting vice president to participate in debates on the floor of the House.
It's not necessary.
No,
it's not necessary.
And in fact, this is not a debate.
You are saying that a debate in Parliament is not necessary.
No, I'm saying that. Let me be very clear here, so that I'm not.
You mean the invitation to the vice president is not necessary?
It's not necessary.
Okay.
Doc, have you seen a licensed driver debating a driver's mate before?
About driving.
Right now, who's licensed?
A driver's mate who says he has never driven before, he doesn't have a license. But I feel he wants to debate a licensed driver who has many years experience in driving. What's be that?
Okay.
If that was the case, then nobody would defend their PhD thesis.
So we have to go. But tomorrow, what's the short code for the ambulance service?
I don't know.
That's something, eh?
I can get that for you. Give me
112.
112, yes.
Or 193. Okay.
Why is Dr. Zakaria coming?
So dial 112.
No, you cause flooding, which is not good. Please, you can't flood it. They don't like that.
So tomorrow,
unless you have an emergency, I beg you.
So tomorrow there will be an emergency. Here.
That matter is sickening, Doc. I'll be watching the show. Yesterday we did something on it on NBC 360, and I was sad. I had to hold myself.
I'm not privy to it, so
you are not. No, you are privy to it.
Ambulances have become very, they become a big issue in Ghana.
That's true.
One of the most popular trials.
Yes.
It's about an ambulance. Yes.
2.3 million euros.
With 2.3 million euros involved. Not so.
It is only under this corrupt government that the cost of spare parts for an ambulance can be more expensive than a brand new ambulance.
No, maybe you've not seen the
spare parts,
the specs.
Maybe
you've not seen
the specs. Maybe an aircraft spec.
You've not seen it.
Maybe a private jet.
You've not seen it.
Spare parts for.
This is for tomorrow. So
an Airbus
I don't
for ambulance.
I don't read.
$130,000.
I haven't looked at
spare parts. That's the cost of spare parts for one ambulance, which you can buy on the market at $70,000 or $80,000 or $90,000.
No, we bought the ambulances at like $130 for one.
Oh, okay.
130?
I think so.
I think it's been quoted.
Now the latest 2024 one.
I'm just telling you about how much we bought them.
So something is also there.
No, so we bought them at this, and then we're buying parts.
And the parts, the spare parts are low.
And then all of them they all need the parts at the same time.
Oh,
yeah,
they all. Doc, the maintenance, the changing of oil and all those things.
Yes.
That one to another 115 million.
Yes.
In just
it depends on the type of oil, filters.
Maybe they mix some gold with the oil.
And this is Mercedes. It's Mercedes.
And the one doing the
it's Mercedes. It's not the
it's the show.
It's not
the one doing the servicing has a baby with the president.
I don't know about that. And Aplex Metro Sports.
This is not.
Again.
Hello, thank you for calling MTN.
This is Jerry, Jolly J for short.
How may I help?
I'm not happy with you guys at all. You've been giving Bongo gifts all the time.
Who is Bongo?
Oh, Bongo, my friend. He purchased in my room.
Oh.
You're giving free gifts, but I don't.
That's MTN rewards, sir. Talk, text, browse, and more, and you get to redeem free call time or data by simply dialing *550#. And on Fridays, you can even get extra special rewards like food vouchers, shopping discounts, and much more.
Didn't tell me anything. Would you like to know how I got the name Jolly J?
That won't be necessary, Mr. Jolly. Calling customer care service doesn't give you points.
I'm gonna call my mom. I'll call my grandma. I'll call my ex. That girl can talk, Papa. Hello, Mama. So what's the topic for today?
MTN.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Customer, I don't know who to say.
Malaria been actually me, man. No more man, still.
One give us.
Give us a solid.
Yeah, sorry. What rest of so give us here and turn down.
But over that song, but tomato give us the and turn down.
Give us about me, sir.
Me patron the and turn down.
Give us a tonto now. Pa.
Onuya kayo, oba wa fa nom. The woman the bonu for nom. Akwada won you fear do me no ono so nom.
The luckiest
star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere for everyone.
Luck it's missing opportunity to be the luckiest. It's time to put some smile on your face. Still asking what luck means? At Luckiest, we believe it's more than just chance. It's joy waiting to happen.
Let's go.
Dial star 712 hash. Now password to tickets you as a group, individual, and as a community. Now participating in the Luckiest from the 1st of July 2024. Grand draw near 30th November 2024. Luck is everywhere with the Luckiest. The Luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform and is not for persons below 18 years. Terms and conditions apply.